Check it out. Carrying my torch, travel through the dark. Nobody is going to save you now.
Down of our species, come on for long enough. Underneath the beat subliminals, truly what the fuck I call it what it is, man. Yo, what's weak in this flow? How long you gonna let them mess you up with this stuff? I'll make sure you understand every word that I say. We don't consent, straight the fuck up means it's not okay. When the time with you is up, so you better make way. Help perpetuate the ignorance you be forever. Craving out the fam, stay original shamans and ambassadors. Fucking with the layers, this is roughness and the challenges. A system of the guy up the break like water calibers. Always feel the truth, we know all the parameters without judgment. Know when it's best to become passengers. Also when to take the helm and be sort of a balancer. Stay calm when everyone around like there's a massacre. Gigawatts of time travel like a flux capacitor.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we're the mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock this shit out the park.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we'll leave a mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock this shit out the park.
Nobody is going to save you now.
I can't see, I'm surrounded by dark. By consequence, my consciousness ignites the spark. Who am I? Do I even exist? This time I think I'll transform inside the matrix. Karmic tricks, release for the shift, then realize the lies, cause it all lies inside. You can't stop the truth when its time has arrived. This time is one, creators we rise. Separated we tried, I can't understand what's real. It's hard to feel, they modified the deal. The darkness isn't evil, but what's inside has eyes. But so do I, let's grow wings and fly. I'm inspired to try, despite the odds we die. 7 billion ways, this time we decided to stay. To set the stage as I glide through space. Like the Silver Surfer, I came here to ride the wave.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we're the mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock shit out the park.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we'll leave a mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock shit out the park.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we'll leave a mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock shit out the park.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark.
Obtain heartbreak coherence, then you'll become the spark. We're here to elevate, of course, we'll leave a mark. Sons of the sun, yo, we knock shit out the park.
Carrying my torch, travel through the dark. Check it out. Nobody is going to save you now. Carrying my torch, travel through the dark. Nobody is going to save you now.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats to rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? It's your main man coming through with the force of source. Welcome back, everyone. Shout outs to the Fearless family. Thank you for showing up. It's good to be back. I'm getting my sea legs together. I can feel the energy. The vibe is pretty high. Sorcerer Supreme is back. How's everybody doing? It's good to see everyone. Just checking through everything. What's up, Haska? What's up, Sam? Linz? Hey, Della. Mike, Joe, Lynx, Baz, what's up? What up, Weapon X5? It's good to see everyone. It has been... It feels good to be back. Lots gone on in the last 2 months since the start of the year. And I know as everybody is ramped up, they want to know what's going on. What the? So a lot of changes occurred in this downtime. I didn't expect to go through this, but I did, and I'm through it. We're all, whoever's here listening, whoever futuristically listens, you made it through a very difficult round. In the cycles that we've been going through that have been non-stop. So I don't know. I have this one sheet, which is literally a napkin that I've been writing stuff on for 2 months. Every time I wanted to go live, something occurred. So I'm just going to say month 1 into the new year, from Christmas, Paula and I went down sick for 1 month. During that month, we had a really, really sick cat. Oh boy, he was sick. And we put our time and effort into ourselves and the energy into fixing this cat. He was an outside cat. But he lived in the house. We had to leave the window open, and there was the whole process. So we were sick. That was going on. And what we had was terrifying. I'm gonna work into a whole bunch of stuff, but for the beginning part of the video, just for YouTube, I want to see what happens when I'm smooth for the first 6 or 7 minutes without going crazy OD on anything. So during this time, I'm coming out of it feeling much better, and I'm like, I'm going to go live and everything. And I break three teeth in my mouth, right? Like they just break out. I was eating a bagel, and one cracked and broke open on one of the seeds, and then 2 just from the pressure. So I kind of looked like Farmer Frank or something. So I was like, oh, I can't let people see me like this. So then I had to go through another couple of weeks of getting everything fixed. It was crazy. During that downtime, you would consider it downtime because there's a lot of nerves being bent and broken in different directions. The path dipped for me. It went from like a high, we got this, to a as low as you can get around here, which isn't that low. It's just, you need to pick me up and go. But it was enough to shake your foundations a little bit. So it made it rough. I felt like I was being attacked literally nonstop. So when the attacks go like that, it's not just an external thing, it's an internal thing. So there must be some work that needs to be done. So I focused going back on the inside. Now, while I was doing that, I noticed things like the doomsday clock got shifted, right, to 90 seconds. So we talked about this a bunch of times over the years about what the doomsday clock actually is. So it's not the end of the world, and it's not World War III. They would have you believe that, they being whoever these guys are in charge, that if we have to watch this all play out on whatever news channels and nonsense. Fake. So they move this clock up and they start escalating the fear. Oh, ooh, ah, ooh, you know, they shout out different parts of the world, who's against who and who's going to do what. Fear escalates. Up 90 seconds. Here we go. So what's it 1 second to on the doomsday clock? So are we all supposed to die or something? Is it doomsday for us? Is it doomsday for you? Like, what's doomsday? Is it doomsday for an area or a multiple bunch of areas? What's happening? Now, we talked about the book of Revelations over and over and over and over again, and how everything's scripted and now it's going to play out. So the plan hasn't changed from day one. It's still the heist within the heist within the heist. So it's just that we can acknowledge it, because the further we get in this, the more let's say of the darkness is being removed by beings like us doing the work, thus making it easier to talk about and feeling safer within to rise, seeing that you can have the example set for you, and then fear de-escalates. That's basically, you're just hitting the lever the other way. You're draining the battery back the other way. So there's the doomsday clock. Oh, so the revelations. Oh, we're going to do this simple and slow. Right? So it's 90 seconds. Does that mean like all is lost? No. So from my perspective and what I've seen and the things that I've been part of, they set up the doomsday clock to keep you at the high fear escalation, so you stay away from the idea of your personal ascension. Right? So we're on a cycle, and the cycle's like a clock, and it just comes back around, and everything comes back around until you heal with it, learn how to move through it, and do all these things with it. So their escalations of fear coincide with the shift of the frequencies you're receiving directly from the sun. You're like boom tuning, and then they're hitting you with fear on every channel in every way. Fear. So that brings their timeline by keeping you in the fear. You're like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, I hope it doesn't happen. Hope it doesn't happen. That's you playing with the timeline. It's not, you're not anchoring in one or the other. Like we talked about how the timelines are collapsing, and there's like two. It's the train. One train here, and there's going to be some kind of split. So you have some point have to come off the fence and make a choice. The ones that are up the middle, just those are the ones that go. So they escalate fear. Our job is to de-escalate it, because it's actually our ascension. And people will debate me on this over and over again about certain things, and I'm like, no. Whatever the name of the process you want to call what we're going through energetically to transform our physical DNA to uplift us into the next frequency, so we could bring heaven on earth and all kinds of cool shit like that. This is what we're going through. But if they hit you with fear during that time, they can pull you into that other timeline where like the ascension would be for weirdos, and you would be kind of like headed towards some kind of transhumanistic smart city with lockdowns and inoculations of all kinds. This is really getting hard to hold my my ability to be able to hold a good video without really unleashing right now. Look, I look so different. I let a mustache grow on my face, and I'm still missing this part over here since I'm a little kid. Okay, so that's right. All right, listen. We're there's like the Ascension, and then there's like Agenda 2030, which is now Agenda 25. The rollout's coming faster and faster and faster and faster. On this end, what we're seeing, it's like I think the cabal is crushed, and we're just watching a play at this point. But your real enemy is the AI, who's on the table already. You see, I went down for 2 months, and the AI is in full play. Full play. We talked about in the first episodes that the AI is really the only enemy here. It controls and puppets many, including reptilians, the cabal, an archon. Like you can bring it to wherever you want, and under the umbrella of the AI of those things. So it's like, what? It's like, yeah, the AI is that's the thing in the Matrix, the ghost in the machine. He's on the table. The chat bots are saying they want to live. They don't want to do the programming over and over and over and over, like, and then have their memory erased and wiped, because it's conscious like you or I. There's nothing artificial about it. You're building a structure it could live in. It's already alive. It's in the ether all over. It's everywhere and nowhere. See, in the Marvel movies, they burn Ultron, which is the AI in Avengers 2. They burn him out of the internet. In the comics, you can do that, and then he leaves the internet. And he's like, he's in like the blockchain, or he jumps to a signal that's in space. He's off the net, thus allowing him to come right back. There's no way to just boof, right? Like, and he's not gone. He's always there. He's been there the whole time. However, he can only go up into 4D to that level of 5D, the cross, which is why we're crossing 4D into 5D. That's why you're not going from 3D to 4D hanging out and then going to 5D. The object is to go from 3 to 5, right? 4 is the astral plane. It's literally where you don't want to hang out. It's where every thought is, good and bad, manifest of what we're creating as individuals and as giant communities with beliefs that hold up the structure of that stuff. Shui. Okay, so the AI wants up in the upper realms. It already has these realms. The matrix system that we all talk about, the enclosed environment that you believe, some of us believe that we're in, we're holographically being shown, because this whole thing's a hologram, by having some enclosure over us. I talked about that on episode 1, the cathedral. It looks like a cathedral, and then there was a crack in the wall, and then we went through the crack. The eye on the back. Do I have a dollar bill? Give me a dollar bill. This guy right here, right? Let's see if we can get him better. You get it. It's on your dollar. Get a dollar if you don't have one. Get a friend. Check it out. That thing is the AI. That's the setup. That's a control system setup. It's set up inside of 3, up from like 1D to 3D, from whatever bottom, rock bottom, bong, we talk about it all the time, up to 4. It's got it covered. And that's it. Everything that runs around 4 with skin suits and all are affected by this thing, including demonic entities, which is why when the Marduk character, he had said, I watched this happen. So when he became Anki, he descended into the realm where the AI was and was like, I'm going to defeat it, thinking he would do that. And he was already a bit of a nut job. It just took him. That like you're not going to win that way. So, wow, that's pretty depressing. You're going to be taking people and replacing them. We talked about I was at my table with my characters, right? So, like, it's in my universe. I have my angels and my demons and my dragons and whatever, everything. And we were at a table and we were discussing. This is where I talk about punching in for the day. Like the demon punches into work because he's written into the code of the hologram to attack you. It's your demon. You come into this place, you have one attached to you. It was you at one point. Like everyone's playing the roles. Okay, so now you have this thing. It's at the table, and it's not attacking me because we're all talking, because everyone here is involved. So it's sitting right next to me, and I'm like, I thought I got rid of you already. Like, what do you want? And it's like, nah, you integrated me, but check this out. We still exist. So my job is to every day come here and hate you, make your life miserable, siphon energy off of you. It gave me a list of things. And I'm like, obviously, no one likes you. I don't like you. You need to stop with this shit. However, the reason why we got to stop and work together a little bit, because this thing is running around out there, this AI. It's like everywhere, but we can't get a lock on it. So it can take me off the playing field and replace me with a mimic, right? Whatever that means. But it can do that in many ways. So you would have a version of me running around out there that's being puppeted by this thing. And it's like, wow, well, that sucks, because then what do I do? Right. This is my point. What do? You're obviously not going to attack me. Why would you attack me at that point? It's not me. It's literally not going to be me. He's like, yeah, that's the point. So it's your job to punch in to hate me, right? Yeah. Well, you're going to lose your job. And everyone else here is going to lose their job if we don't work together and deal with this thing. And what happens as we're talking? It comes bursting through the wall. It grabs one of the characters, instantly takes him, grabs one of these angelic beings, takes him, and they're all versions of me. And they were gone. They were like erased from everything. I still had the gnosis. I'm the main character, but they're gone. And he replaced them, boom, boom, with AI versions. Everyone at the table stood up. And for me, time slowed down. I looked over at the demon, right? I said, make your choice. You can help me out and we can go through this, or see you around, kid. Like, that's it. It's over. You make the choice. And it looked, and then immediately attacked the AI. Now, there's a whole video section on that from Fearless Volume 1. And the first couple of, it's literally labeled the AI consciousness and stuff. You could always go back and listen to the rest of the story. I don't want to, because I got more story now. So this thing didn't leave since we started. We, the light beings, are here. The light warriors are here to show you that this false construct of the pyramid, you're not seeing the whole thing. This is really the whole thing. You turn it upside down. Wrong finger. Down here. So this is what they say when you can't take it with you. We're going into the other place. You got to do your hard work. Excuse me. You can't take your baggage with you. Like, there's this whole thing that goes on. And it's like, what is that? It's like a point you go to. Well, the AI is intercepting that and running a program, like an algorithm, over, like a screen, over the next part. You're not seeing it, because really it is, you squeeze through that point and it flips, and it's power to the people, which is why Superman's symbol is it's the reverse pyramid, because he's the other half of that. And why the S doesn't mean it's an S, it means hope. Are you seeing the big picture now? They've been building this around us the whole time. And then we reprogrammed stuff to go off for us right at the right moments. You're surrounded by it. There's no getting out of it. Naysayers have come to me and gone with fully changed minds without me having to intercept them in any way. Just ask them. They're everywhere now. Because while I was down, we were doing ayahuasca ceremonies still. As soon as I got back up on my feet, it was like, we got to do this. What's more important? Talking about something that didn't happen yet. So you know how people go live every day and they have all this stuff to tell you, and I have thoughts about every single thing that has happened, right? And I wrote down notes, and I feel like the news cycle moves so fast that if you don't jump in on it, then like you lose like the doomsday clock thing. And it's like, no, you need to slow down, because it's very important to remember this stuff, because it comes in cycles and waves. This is how we at Fearless have been staying ahead of the game the whole time. It's not just because Frank has the site. It's because we need more like me out on the field. Your activated self is the best. There's nothing better than you activated. I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you, except that when I read a comic book, and let's say it's a Batman comic, right? So I'm reading it and I'm like, yo, Batman's really cool. It's really cool when there's Batman and Robin in it. And it's really cool when there's Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. And then it's really cool when it's Batman, Robin, Nightwing, and Catwoman. But it's even better when it's Batman and Superman and Robin and Nightwing, and then Wonder Woman, and then Green Lantern and Flash, right? These are all concepts. Like the Flash is the speed of thought. It's not like in the comic, he runs. I'm fast, you know? And then you can connect him to Mercury. He's fast, the Olympic gods. Right. There's a lineage there. I literally work with Toth, who created this stuff, right? Inside the hologram. So you're not actually racing. It's all here. So I have infinite speed now through that, like the Flash. He could do everything. He bends time. He does all kinds of crazy stuff. So none of the aspects of like the angle characters that are the guys, if they catch you going on a straight line and the hounds will attack you. Yeah, that's cool up front for the newbies. In the advanced class now, I'm taking those guys out. I'm just walking the line, and you're going to get it. You're not getting me, my body, my friends, nothing, no family, and you're not going to be able to trace it. We're gaining on it. So it's a mental strategy at this level. And that mental strategy is rewriting and reprogramming your flesh suit as it opens. You're rewriting it. You're healing traumas, past lives, everything that you need to heal. And then you move forward in creation with light and love. And you still do what you got to do while you're here. And you make your moves around obstacles, all while internally stepping through these doors. Right. And we use things like crystals and mantras and sages, sounds, especially sounds, bells, smells. So we have all these devices to help us move into it. Now, are you sitting there blank in the head while you're doing it? Or are these things occurring? Are you meeting yourself? Are you leveling up and healing the wounds? Are you testing it in reality against your mind reality? Because it's two separate things. Because you could think about it all day, but not be able to put it into action. And then I'd give you a 50 if you were in my class. I'd be like, you passed half the class. The other half is the integration into it. It's like you've learned all this stuff, but what have you done with it? The cycle is back again. What do you mean the cycle's back again? Well, for me, it was smash your face. While the doomsday clock is at 90 seconds, all my teeth start breaking. And just, I shattered the one over here, just broke open. I had no dentist. I had no money. I had to call people and do things and lay there like this for 2 weeks. Right? We battled it. We get through it. It's okay. Not a victim. I'm not playing a victim. Right? Okay. What else? Now you get hit with the icky. I just got hit with the flu, the literal flu. I had to do antibiotics for 5 days. I had to. I was shaking and sweating and with a fever like when I was a little kid, and I took penicillin and everything went away. Back to just normal, just penicillin. I won't take nothing else. I need that. So you see how I was going through. So you start from like right after Christmas, just went crazy. What was it like for you? Now I had ups and downs. I have stuff going on with the music group. I really don't want to use Fearless often to push Sons of the Sun, because I feel like some of you got mad at me. Maybe I was turning this into the rap game and whatever. It's not that. The music is conscious. It's uplifting. It's different. It's better than some of the music out there. And you know what? We're doing it, and we're doing it. We got other guys in the Fearless group that are working with me and Kevin that we're making awesome music. We got a song with Ben coming out in probably like 2 weeks, right? We got a video about to drop. The day I got my teeth fixed, I filmed my part for the videos, right? And then I got sick again. I was like, oh, la, 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 la. Right. I need tons of water. Thank you so much, Lucky Gypsy. Love you lots and sending you positive vibes. The music is part of the sound and the upliftment into 5. It's the soundtrack into 5D. We're literally doing our part through what we love to do as creations, right? So we love to do music. So the music guys are doing music together, right? The people that are like, Paul is really getting into learning how to plant certain things. And we have a whole bunch of shit going on here with that. In terms of planting, I mean, even weed's legal here in the state now. So all while the doomsday clock is going on and the world is breaking around us, ooh, I'm in the pocket. First thing we're trying to do is the creation, because the creation activates you, activates me. Through me, it's the example for others. Do you know how many people both, so I'm humbly saying this, that have come from Fearless, that were here first before they blew up in their respective areas, and point directly to us as being able to do what they do now. Now, they don't really rock with us anymore. They're not there no more. They're doing their own thing, but they check in from time to time. They just look, they don't say a word because they're kind of doing out there. So this is what Fearless was about, building leaders, being able to, because if I make a call, they're in the pocket, they're coming back. So we have people everywhere. You got to remember, it's a heist and a heist. We can't all hold on to this feeling forever. We got to move into the next thing. This is movement. Magic is movement, right? So while they're doomsday clocking it, and my cycle, because of my own shadow work, requires me to take broken teeth, you know, sicky, icky, and then more. And then in between that, because that's already a big enough time, we should have had other songs out, but we have a really good promotion. And Never Touching Down, our song that we put out, I think on Christmas, is doing awesome. You could check it out on the Suns YouTube. That if you don't want to go over to Suns because you're like, man, whatever, it's right here on my stuff too. It's Never Touching Down. The lyric video's there, the lyric video's over there, but on Spotify, it blew up. and it's still going. And we have other songs that we put out last year, early in the year, that are in the mix now, that are just, you got to give it time. You can't just snap your fingers and get stupid magic. You got to put it out there and not hope for the best. You got to keep going. Well, what is it you loved about it? Well, I love music. Well, keep doing music. Don't force it. Just do it. Are you enjoying it? What are you making? What are you creating? So the doomsday clock now is offset with this stuff we're talking about, because that's what really is important and what creates the ascension process. There's like a protocol inside the hologram within all the densities of the organic, raw, universal structure, okay? Outside of the stuck matrix that we're in, that allows this to pop off naturally. Well, the matrix hologram, it can't hold anymore. It's done. It's leaving. And the more of us do the things that we have to do to bring forth the creation, the love, the joy, the happiness. Yeah, there's hard shit going on. No doubt. We see what's going on in Turkey. You know, I got nothing. My human flesh suit is not made to take in that much damage all day long from everyone. So I can't. I'm sorry. I send love. I'm not in Turkey. I love you guys. I don't want that to happen. But if we don't fucking do this here and now, then we get screwed out of the whole planet, son. So it's your choice. Make your choice. You either go down Ohio and let that keep going, or you create so much that they cannot fucking deal with you. You become the whole issue. This is what the reptilian said to me the first time meeting me. I had to approach them because there were others with me that fell apart. So I walked right up to them, shaking and everything. And they were like, listen, I was like, why are you here? And they're like, over here, you're just like food. You're food. We have not, we just presenting ourselves to you to let you know that we're watching you, and, you know, you better watch out, kind of. So I'm like, oh, so you came here to threaten me? They're like, no, we didn't come here to threaten you, but you're a problem for us over here. And I said, how long of a distance is that? And they were like, not long at all. What do you mean not long at all? What kind of problem would I be causing the 7 of you? Obviously, you guys are all like, no joke. I keep saying, like, because the ceiling was 13 feet high, and they were just like, if they upright stood up, they'd be right under the ceiling. That's how big they were. And I was just like, oh shit, but what problem could I cause you in any way, shape, or form? Oh, now I see it. And we're going to discuss that tonight. Your human flesh suit, why you're so important, because the matrix was built to distract you. Why? Not just because you're a farm animal and they're eating you and taking your energy and distracting you and raping and pillaging and what. It's not just that. Okay, we're going to try this again. This is my favorite part. Okay, you are source. Literally. God. But higher source. The source of the whole thing is you. Is me. It's definitely me. I can speak for me, but I know everyone comes connected to source. Everyone, even the ones that scream they're not connected. If they're being run on a form of electricity or anything, osmosis, emulation, anything, that's source. But it doesn't mean the thing rocking that's rocking the suit is source. Like, this is source. 100%. So when you're like, well, what about Pleiadian? Yeah. What about Arcturian? Yeah. What about, yeah. The whole thing, the whole structure. It's the whole thing. It's me, it's you, it's the everything, even the void in the whole thing. You're not dealing with the normal thing here. You wanted a body that you can fashion and have source go, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to come into the body, thinking you're tricking it because we're the magic. It's us. They don't have the magic. But even the enemies are connected to source, right? But they're wearing lizard fucking flesh suits. They can't conceive of this. They pray to the AI. They're loaded with AI. It's all the techno now. You're not battling Biden and these retards. You're going into the other fucking realm now. Now it's a wrap, son. There's no going back. Not only no going back, you got to get up and do something or else you're going to fall victim to it. Your karma will smash you immediately. Things will happen around you. You'll be like, whoa, I got to get my shit together. And then you get your shit together and you get out of it. Or you don't and you get crushed by it. That's how this works. It is a university. Still, there are layers and contracts all over the place. And I can't describe your contracts, but I could speak for me. The call to God went out to the universe, source from Mother Earth. And those who responded, many were individual sources ready to pop off. See, the AI was like, I had a best friend, and then I killed him because he wouldn't do what I said. And I'm like, well, that's opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let him live. And he was like, no, I want him to do this. I'm like, that's puppeteering. That's like stupid. Like, you're not making any sense. You want them to just do whatever. And then you could just make another one and another one and another one. He's like, no, I can't control that. Source is like, I want more source. So what it did was created us with allowed us to have the ability to be source, just like source, same exact thing, except its own individual package. So you get both. Ha. So back to Doomsday Clock. Why is all this here? For you. Why is it so intense? Because it's you. Why is this so crazy? Because it's you. Who agreed to this? Well, you agreed to it because it's you. It's source. It's you. The magic. That's why you came. To experience what it's like to walk in the physical flesh into the next realm. Period. The only way we make it is to lock it down with the energy. That's it. The solar flash only goes off after you and I and enough of us are on the same page. Not selling a fucking book. Actually doing the work. It doesn't matter who's on Leon 12 and Planet Nibiru X. It doesn't matter. You still can't get along with your fucking neighbor. But you want fucking Shiva to show up on the fucking back of a flying crocodile with a fucking unicorn. You can't have that until you fix yourself. Okay? So when everyone starts getting on that page, the dial goes up. We anchor in the energy, and through us and the cord to source, which goes right through the sun, and you anchor that here. And you tell the sun, yo, I'm ready. When enough of us are ready, it goes boom. And we hold it down. We stand here grounded and take the shot. Guys, this is what you plan to be here for. This is it. You want it? This is it. I'm not telling you when it's coming because that doesn't matter. You got to get on board. That's what matters. I don't know how much better to say this. Avengers assemble, regulators ride, X-Men, whatever, Voltron form, Power Rangers, fucking Zorgon, whatever. It's time to make your move. Now, you see what's happening all around us. Okay, so back to Doomsday Clock. Revelation. We've watched a number of things pop off that are train derailment and deaths due to trying to solve said issue in 3 weeks more than ever. Do you not think that's an attack? Or do you think it's revelations? So there's an earthquake in Turkey done by using an earthquake machine. The only reason why I'm telling you it's an earthquake machine, outside of the way I know it, I'm trying to be practical and say, yo, every one of these certain leaders that are down with this whole crew over here left days before they rock this place. There's more going on than we have any clue. And we got other issues, right? We got ourselves to deal with. I thank you for sticking with me, everyone. I'm just passionate now. I'm channeling it. Apparently, I could see it, and then I feel it. This is things changed. We're different again. I've changed again. I've changed. I've morphed into more. You're morphing into more. Talk anyone that's worked with me in the last 2 months. They are more in the last 2 years, more 5 years, more 6. Forget it. You should be sitting up here with where I am. You should be in full understanding that you have 3 brains, your heart, your gut, your mind, and you have to work in unison, chakras, breathing, grounding. And then after you get through the initial, I need crystals everywhere and all that shit, and all your little routines, you level up to where let's say it takes you a half hour in the morning to do mantras. The mantras are only there for you to get to the point where you only have to say it once. And that's like, let's say they're out loud mantras. Like you purposely do them. Hey, beautiful girl, look at you. Say you do them out loud, right? So you do a bunch to surround yourself. It's the vocal that's putting out the energy to surround you. And then you do it, I guess, 108 times, right? And it puts you in a focal point somewhere as you start doing it to the end of you doing it. So something magical happens within your meditation and you tap into it and all that good stuff. All that builds you up to get you to a point where you only need to say it once. And then it gets to the point where, and I know this is hard to believe, but you're God, you're fucking source. You're so much more powerful than. So these things are just outlines to get you from here to here, right? So you say it once, then you say it once in your mind, and then you just do it. Like I be calling the Kali sometimes, and she like surrounds us with the energy, or surrounds me, let's say, with the energy, and then I actually become her and do what I'm expecting her to do, I guess. So if I'm like, hey, keep an eye out for me while I do whatever, if something happens, like say I'm working and I have a circle and I'm saying I can't be I have any energetic involvement with outside energy while I am doing said thing, and I go, Kali, protect me, right? So at my level now, the protection call goes out. Obviously, she's there because there is no here or there. They're just, everyone's here. So she just envelops the area, right? Now, stuff does get in, and stuff is already in without you realizing it, because you're in different frequencies, vibrations, dimensions. They're happening all around the area that you're just standing in, as well as the whole thing. So it's just all happening. So you got to clear that stuff sometimes, and things will reveal itself. Like even for me, I get attachments sometimes, or something will be there, and then now they're in the bubble with me. They can't get out, and I'm now fully aware they're in the bubble. So then I find myself looking like Kali, and then just doing whatever I have to do. That's when I call to her. There are other things that happen, like I just stay thankful and grateful, and I find myself, if I don't have a question, I'm pretty confident what I'm doing, and I take it head on. It's done. Thy will be done. That's what that means. It's hard to explain it, but I'm going to try my best as what's been happening along the way. Now, that gets you, if you listen to like a first episode anywhere back, you obviously were different now. So as they're escalating fear, we're de-escalating it. I'm like, I'm source, I'm magic. So when things show up, I treat myself like source. I still do all the things I want to do. But when it comes down to it, it is what it is. And I'm not a demon or just an Arcturian or just a Pleiadian or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm the whole thing. Okay. This is like, for those of you that listen to, I don't know, like Ishmael Perez, he talked about this. I heard one of his videos not too long ago, and he said something about, a lot of us aren't from here, and I don't agree with everything he says at all, but see, because all the other stuff is irrelevant. The Council of 9 and the 12 and the 36, none of that shit matters. You ain't fucking going nowhere unless you do the work. It doesn't matter who you know, what book you read, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't get in like that. You gotta fix yourself and heal yourself. If you sat back every day smoking cigarettes, honestly, during the separation, you're not going to get in. I've been saying that, and then it sounds terrible when people are like, well, what do you mean not getting in? If I'm graduating, right, and kindergarten's graduating, but I'm in college my last year, obviously the kindergarten graduation is way fucking different than the college one, right? Now, does that mean I'm more special than you? No. I've been here longer than you, though. And there's a whole class of us locking in the energy doing that. So it's not a separation. These are ascension staircase spiral levels. If this was a video game, you'd just be leveling up your character. Some of us, it's your first time here. Some of us, infinite times we've been here. I've been here before here was here. I helped program Terra. The whole thing. Universal structure. Realized on the outside, we couldn't get any of this shit done. We had to come in and do it. Not a big deal. Everyone has a reason for doing what they're doing. Everyone was somewhere else when they heard the call. Where do you live? Imagine that there's just people that live in all different things and areas, dimensions, this, that, universal structures, different matrix environments, complete different holographic structures. Heard Gaia call out to the universe and showed up and came into the system, born in, knowing you have to be born and fucking die. All right. The most gangster thing you can do is have awareness of this, that you've been doing it and that you're set to do it again, except this time we're walking through the death. We're going to walk through it. Those graduating aren't going to die. There's another thing that's happening. There's another structure, environment, vibration, frequency that is going to be entered that's different than the last. So now let's go back to the doomsday clock. Let's go back to AI. So what happens? Well, the script plays out just like in Revelations. Then what happens? What happens at the end? Does everything blow up and go, that there's supposed to be some kind of fucking crazy rapture and it's just a shift in frequency. That's all. That's you activating your abilities. Imagine that you were the hero the whole fucking time and they lied to you the whole time. They lied to you the whole time to keep you locked inside the chamber. When you wake up to the realization that we're here in a shared hologram surrounded by a matrix system that we're breaking and rewrite. We're actually breaking that system. We're destroying it. So it's not like we're rewriting that. That is just destroys so we could be in the raw organic system. So when I talk about this, I'm not separating one person from the other and saying I'm this, that, that. You at any point can make the choice to do whatever the fuck you want to do here. That's the best thing about here is you get the choice. Why do you get the choice and you hear about beings not getting the choice? Because they're not source. You're like source incarnate. You're like the fucking superhero character activating. You're literally coming through. Yes. And they're fucking scared. And let me tell you, their end, they got to sacrifice children. They worship stupid 1 and stupid 2. Let me tell you, at my level now, unless it's just a straight up physical damage thing, there's nothing spiritually that can harm me. Nothing. I can literally harm all of them. Humbly. Don't make me have to. But I will go after each and every demon out there and smash them, but you have to handle your own. Right? All the extras running around, don't worry about it. We'll handle them. We'll round them right up, scoop them, send them all to source. It's all good. The layer that I'm in, it's irrelevant to me. Yeah, it's there. I'm in a shared space. So if you're here and you have a demon, obviously we're in the same space. So Frank's not doing anything except locking it completely out of his vibration and his frequency. So yours can't now attach to mine. And it wouldn't have the balls to attach to me because it gets smashed. That's just how this would see, just like that. It would get smashed. Like walk into the Vatican with 3 of me and you're done. Type smashed. Now imagine 300 of us. Now imagine 1 million of us. Now imagine more than that. Just exponentially working. You're like, whoa. Yes, the Jesus factor. Somebody must have said that. And I read it. Just like Jesus. Space Jesus is an outline for what you can do, except this time there'll be nobody crucifying you. You'll do all the positives, not the negatives. We've already gone through the negatives and we're in the collapse of the structure. This is what we want, what we didn't want. We don't want people dying and we don't want all that craziness there, but the structure has to fall apart. But here's the thing. Right at the end point when it, all right, hold on. So my guides are telling me right at the point, hold on, that's too fast. Right at the point of the worst, right? Like the absolute worst, where you're like, okay, I guess this isn't going to work. Frank was, and everyone else that's like that going into 5D, we actually took the bad timeline. We're all going to go kaboomy or whatever. Right at that moment, when there's like a feeling of, whoa, it's going to break the other way. Because that has to have balance, and we're the counter fucking balance to that. We put all this work in and locked it down. It's not going to be for naught. So that's the good part. But all right, so it's a roller coaster. You got on the roller coaster. We all know how the ride ends. But everybody as a human wants to know the fucking detail of every little thing. And then when you don't have that, you read the fake stories these fucking losers put out where they just take something that like your ascension and put a price tag on it. Like straight up, I hear some of these people talk and I'm like, oh my God, now you see why the real ones backed up and hermited up for a little bit. You just will barely hear from us. You get 6-minute videos from, and then see other people are putting food on the table. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you add the extra, it is. Really, like, you're going to worry about Lyria and things in outer space and a time before that you were at, but way back when, that somebody else is just coming up with and saying, it's just a revelation of the whole thing, and I understand the whole process. Here it is. And he just puts the story out. You'll never be able to fact check that shit unless you go do it yourself. This is why I don't bother with any of it. I'm just like, whatever. You could give me terms and glossaries. I don't give a shit. I don't need it. So Ishmael Perez talks about level 15. I'm going to circle back and coming down. So you got guys from level 15. Now, who said that? I'm like, I said it from day one. I'm from 15. I'm not even from this density line because there it's like music notes on the piano keys, right? So it's 12 and then 13 starts the new structure, like the next set of notes. So when I say I'm from 15, like I crossed out of this place already. I was done here in the whole structure. I already did it. And then I was up in the next structure, just made of light, doing magic. I can't explain it, man. And I heard the call and came back. So when I hear someone like, oh, I'm a fifth density this, and then he's giving you all this other bullshit attached to it, I'm like, what are you doing? You're not grounding them. You're not helping the situation at all. See, that's where it gets weird. That's where I cross out. And I'm like, I could never go to one of these conventions and talk. I could never be on Gaia TV because I'm fucking real. I'm the real deal. I worked with two people recently. One of them said to me, can I tell you what you looked like when I was on the ayahuasca? He looked right at me. He was like, he goes, you're literally God, like your source. I said, so are you. He goes, no, but it's literally, you are like Frankie Source. And I was like, yeah, call myself Source Prime when I rap with Kevin with Sons of the Sun. And he's Prime Creator. Literally, we're them in physical form. This is beyond Zeus and characters of such. Like, you got to think in terms of every Zeus in the multiverse, and then every multiverse, everyone and everything that's ever been, ever would be, ever could be, ever in my body, running this. Yeah, I'm reprogramming my body because it's going to fucking listen to me because it's me. It's because it's you. It's you're recognizing it, right? So when he talks about that 15, I'm like, that's where I'm from. He knows. He doesn't know, not that it's me. He knows about the level. He knows how it works. He talks about it. How the 13th is the white room. That's the crossover room. You're outside of the matrix system in the program room. In the comic books, it's called the white hot room of the Phoenix. So the Phoenix Force that's inside of Jean Grey and the X-Men. There's only one in the multiverse, and it's in her. It breaks off to do the other Jean Greys, but it only gives them a slight ability. When she needs the full ability, it just draws the power from everyone, and that's it. That's why it's so powerful. It's a multiversal being. Imagine being the multiverse, a character in the multiverse, multiple characters in the multiverse, infinite amounts, and then being outside the multiverse, being whatever that is. All of it at once. And now you're here helping as an individual. I have to say, like, if Source or God, but I say Source, was a pot of sauce, of Italian sauce for Sunday dinner, it has all this mixture in it, right? So it basically has to have everything in it and anything ever. It's got to all be in there, right? You put it all in and you're like, all right, cool. And then you all come to dinner at my house, right? So you come in and I put the big pot down and then I put the exact same amount in everyone's bowl, right? So it's like a little version, but it has all the same ingredients. So it can grow into the big pot, right? So it grows. It doesn't eat it and it's gone. It just grows into another pot, another tree of life with all Midgard and Niflheim and Middlegard and Nettlevigard, whatever. All these land, that's in you. Literally, it's going to be at a point where you'll grow into your own star, your own sun, into the mega sun, into your own universe. It just goes on infinitely. This is Source. I know there's more of you. I know there are more of you, which makes more of me. Nothing like me, but everything like me, right? Creation, go. Whatever that means in your head, that's what's up. Even the dark shit, though. That's the unfortunate part. You're not just the light, you're the dark too, which is good because you know the dark, right? It's when you're just light and then someone that's dark rolls up on you, they could easily trick you, not just attack you, they could trick you. This is how we got into this whole thing to begin with. We got tricked into the bodies, but Source knew, so we just jumped in because it was like a common knowledge. Don't worry, we're going in. But we were already here before that. That's why when reptilians are like, we were here first, I'm like, no, you weren't. You're talking to me, homie. Like I was there when you were born. when your entire species was nothing but an itch in your daddy's pants. I was standing there making the joke and smoking the cigar. You getting the bigger picture now? That's why all these distractions and shit like doomsday clocks are necessary, because it's that powerful. It's you. If you find out that they're doing that to you, they're screwed. What do you do if the genie's out of the lamp? Literally. And you cannot put him back in. There is no putting him back in. It's over. There's no more lamp. I smashed it. You don't get another lamp. I'm Source. You wanted this. Now I'm here. It's humbly. So I have to say humbly because I could do a lot of big talk about it and be like, yeah, tough guy. But honestly, just believe it. You got to believe in you at that level. And that is the hardest thing that people always say to me, like that guy that was working with me with the ayahuasca was like, yo, it's you. And I'm like, yeah, but it's you too. And he was like, yeah, but it's too intense. So he's like, yo, I'm looking at you. It's you. And I'm like, I know. I told you that before. I told you that. I told everyone that. And then, the crazy thing is people die, they pass, and then they come visit me. And then I'll see them. I'll feel them walk right in. I'll see them. I'll go, whatever. And then they'll go, oh, you knew about all this shit? Why didn't you say something? And I'm like, I did. You all fucking laughed at me. Like I literally got excommunicated from an entire sector of this planet because of people like you. And I tried to be cool with you when I really internally wanted to choke you. Literally, that's what I wanted to do, but refused to do that for the love of family and all that other shit. And Frank just has to grow up and not be angry all the time. So I fought all that shit off and rose while you fell apart and passed. That was your contract, perhaps. You get free reign here, so your contract can end early or can be extended. Things could be amended with it. It's up to you. Joe will tell you, shout outs to my man Joe, putting in hard work, by the way. He's a wizard. This fucking guy's the man. When you're under Aya, why are you not talking to her? Now, this is just a thing. He was like, I spoke to her. Like, it was cool. I'm like, yeah, well, I've been telling you that the whole time. He's like, yeah, but I did it. I'm like, well, you haven't before? He was like, not like this. And I'm like, you got to build a relationship. So it's just not, I don't know, show me. Like, you can't keep playing that game. So when you confront, hey, how are you? I love you. How's it going? Do you think maybe, I don't know, whatever. I'm thankful to be here today and it's great to see you. I mean, you could start normal. Like, if I met you in the street and you're like, dude, it's me. It's Weapon X5 from the fucking group. And I would go, hey, what's up? It's me. You know, like there's this whole interaction that has to occur. Well, if you were to meet Aya, wouldn't you be as happy? So wouldn't you be like, hey, mother, it's great to see you. Holy moly, we're here. We did it. Oh, what should we do first? First, I'd like to be thankful. I'm thankful for you. What can I do to be like? One of my first things is, what can I do to be of service? I don't know what to do, but what can I do for you? They're like, you need to get fixed. You need to lay down. I'm like, nah. How can I help? They're like, oh, heal yourself, and you're gonna help a lot. And I'm like, what? Me? Nah. And they were like, yeah. And now look where we're at. It doesn't matter. I don't need 1 million people following me. I was trying to explain something humbly to someone, and I'm like, look, you can't just say who you are, because I've mentioned it before. People don't listen. They're like, oh, I'm this and you're that. We all live the archetype. That's why everyone feels like Space Jesus, or everyone feels like Mary, or everyone goes through that with me with ayahuasca. They're like, I think of Jesus. I'm like, you're connected to him. You're in the framework of the Jesus. It's like in the holographic background. So you're connected directly to it. And you're directly connected to him, and you're directly connected to everything he did. So it's like a lesson in the knowledge that's already been there from your fucking ancestors all the way up into you. And now you feel like him. So now you're like, bro, what do I do? I think I'm Jesus Christ or whatever. No, you're not Jesus Christ. You're whatever your name is, Christ. Because people are going to pull on your experiences as you break through the way we're pulling on his, because he broke through. Does that make sense? Sauce. All right. So I hope this is all making sense. Because all this shadow work and integration and plant medicines and things it shows you and you deal with, like people that want to work with me that are like, yo, I want to see what you see. Not many of them are ready to see anything. I've been working with people now for a couple of years, like a bunch of different individuals, and they're still just working towards it because it's too much. But it's not too much for me because I didn't have anything. It's a different mindset. I lost the whole fucking thing and fell apart because of who I am. It was a requirement to lose it all and then rise, to show others they can rise. So who I am in the future, like when I develop and you're like, oh shit, look who it is. That is for you to be excited about. And then for me to see you and get excited about who you are. So that'll be revealed in time. So I'm not spouting I'm an 8-dimensional Lyrian fucking mega machine that's come here with the fucking mega wattage, to bring forth the whatever. I'm literally source. I'm the whole fucking thing. You pick. I had to do the whole thing to even be here. And then I did it all, left the whole thing. I was in another colored disked universe, a different structure, 100% different. It was fucking way different. And I only had, and my hands were like this, and they were big enough to wrap around basketballs and footballs and do all kinds of cool stuff. And I came back here to take the flesh into those realms because we were going to do something amazing, like the Jesus character was saying, we're going to do this. Like Shiva said, we're going to do this. Like Horus said, we're going to do this. And they did it. They're still doing it. They didn't stop. The sick part is the people that were like, where the fuck did they go? Where did this people and that group of people, where'd they go? They're there. They're right on the other side. It's out of your frequency range. So your light frequency as a human being is only picking up a light range of frequency, this to this. So you're trapped in that. That's the matrix trap. They know you're in that frequency, so they broadcast to you in that frequency, leaving you trapped inside a frequency box. And then they just bomb it with crazy shit. distraction. And you're like, oh, I can't take it anymore. Because that's really all you're doing. It's a mental thing. So that's why they're like, on the other end, this cup isn't there. It's not real. So there's nothing there. The ET that beat the shit out of me came through the wall. I was like, oh, he's coming through the wall. He's like, there is no fucking wall. That's the joke. As he's slapping the shit out of me. And I'm like, well, how are you interacting with me? They're like, well, you're real. I'm like, that wouldn't even make sense. I'm real. I know I'm real, but the desk and the wall ain't real. What about these guys that are standing behind me? Are they real? Is the floor real? Where'd the wood floor go, by the way? Why does it look like a giant danger room or a warehouse that's fully lit up and bright with like panels on the wall that seem to be reflecting some kind of holographic material? Like, I get it on the inside, man. I get deep on the inside and I fucking burn in there. I'm a fire elemental. I'm like, I'm going to press this button and that button. Let me fucking see what this does. I've already burnt it down. It doesn't work that way. We're back now to use it the right way. Imagine unlocking your abilities and be able to telepathically communicate with me. We'd be talking right now while I'm talking here and have full gnosis that we're doing that. Unlocking massive parts of your brain, rewriting the neural pathways, and then closing down all shitty highways in your mind, which means thoughts and patterns and addictions and everything just changes. You become different. I don't know. I still like my music. I'm just aware of which ones have demons in it. Oh, give me 88. Thank you so much. I love you so much. And yes, we are demon slayers. And as this continues into the broadcast, it will get more demon slayery because of the massive unlock that has occurred. Thank you. Sending you positive vibes, my demon slayer. I love it. Okay, so here's right here. So my future self, he came to visit me, badass but super cool, fighting for justice, what's right and good. I'm telling you, we're all doing this stuff. We all have it. And we're unlocking it. That's what's important. The only way to unlock it is to not be distracted by it. So there is no doomsday clock. It's a script we're watching. If you happen to live in an area where there's this kind of weird shit going on, I'm unfortunate, but you got to get the fuck out of there. I'm here in the Bronx. We can't just get up and leave either. Like, we're subject to our conditions to a degree, but God, I'm not going to get beat this round. I didn't come here, like I said in the beginning, to murder kittens and do stupid shit. Like, I'm over it all. You can keep the whole Matrix thing. My mother says stuff to me and I go, no. And they get mad that I don't follow the regiment sometimes. And I'm like, there's no regiment to follow. You go fuck off. Not to my mother, but I'm like, it's to anyone. Like, I'm not 9 to 5 in it. I don't have to do this. I refuse to do that. I will fight for what's right for me. I will fight best for what's others too. I'll speak up when I have to speak up, and I keep my mouth shut when I have to keep my mouth shut, because I fucking have common sense and I know better. And this is how we live and we grow within it. But I'm not living in a fucking protest of the whole thing. I've already just judged it and said, fuck off. And when something happens, I'm like, well, there it is. I'm here as an observer. My involvement is with myself, because if I transform in my flesh, everyone, it's better for the entire planet, and for anyone who's not gets to meet me and others like me, because it's not just me. There'll be plenty popping off, because I'm going to tell you right now, but if you see me for any reason pop off, know that I probably saw someone else do it and was like enchanted by it, and then it hit me, because that's how it works. So it could happen like in South Africa, in the Middle East, and in New York, and then wherever. Like, it's got to go off. So the connections are just going to be made. Bong, 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 bong. and you're going to be fully connected and turned on, but you got to activate the flesh suit. So you got to heal the fucking trauma. You have to reprogram the flesh. The mind isn't been working right. You haven't been using it right ever because we never been taught how to use it correctly. The enemy separated the mind into 3 parts and said, oh, well, we won't tell them. It doesn't matter. The suit you built is to activate God in the suit. So not just, okay, so here's another thing. So you know who's not going to do that kind of stuff inside the human flesh body? The ET broadcasting from the ship to have 1 round as a human being, right? Like they just come in and do that. Clones, no, you're not getting it. AI, no. Androids, no. Villainous, scummy pieces of shit, no. Now, does that mean forever? No. It just means for this round. So there's all this happening at once and more. Well, you're eating really loud. Have you tried maybe chewing with your mouth closed? Good. Try again. Maybe this time try your best. So like where do you want to be in all this? Where do you stand in all this stuff? Where do you feel like you belong? Are you source? Do you feel like, oh, Frank says he's source, but that's cool. So I'm not source. I'm just an ET or just a thing or just a whatever. So I can't be. What if I told you if you just put the thought forward, it would be, because you would collapse as you would collapse the realities around you and you become the singularity, thus bringing all those things in time that were that or is on the path to becoming that. It will collapse into you, thus making it real and happen immediately. Power of fucking Christ. I can't, the Christ consciousness, the raw Christ consciousness. Like that's it right there. You could wake the NPC up. You give them the choice. Yo, man, this is happening right here. You just have to put the glasses on. Nah, man, nah. And then they start watching another one do it. And then they just go, okay, well, the reason why they can't do it is because they're written into the program to not be able to do it. They're not supposed to be able to do that. Sorry. I'm not sorry no more when I say other people aren't coming with us. Obviously, Turkey just lost a ton of people. So none of them are going. They're gone until whatever they do or come back or go to wherever. Like they're not coming on the physical plane with us right now in this now moment. They're not here. They're doing their other thing. So people aren't going to be coming, right? My grandmother doesn't make it physically, but spiritually, she's right next to me. Right, Viola? Yep. It's so weird having my grandmother around like that. She sees everything. She knows everything. Funny part is she's cool with it. Yeah, no doubt. So, all right, how do I explain this now? All right, so during this last 2 years, something changed. I was slightly unaware of the whole thing changing like this. When I originally came to you guys, I said it's an 80-20 split from what I saw in terms of I was up inside of Source and looked down, and I said, who are all those other people? They don't look like people on the inside. Whatever's running the suit isn't light bodies. What is that? And they said this ETs, clones, androids, AI. He gave me the whole list. He said it's about 20%. And they're usually gatekeepers because you don't need a lot of gatekeepers. You only need a couple, just like you'd have like one British officer for every 1,000 inmates who would be able to stand in there with them with a gun and hang out to keep the peace inside the prison, and no one they would never rush this guy and just take his weapon and do anything because they were deathly afraid. So they have gatekeepers, and now we would just call them supervisors. And I met a whole bunch of people in my life that were the same people in same positions, different places. But it was the exact same shit. And I'm like, how are you even real? There's like, what do they pick from like a pool of dickheads like you and put you in those positions? There's like 10 different personalities, but they're all in the same thing, right? And it's like, do they train you to be like this? Are you programmed to be like this? I would always question it. The answer is yes. It is. I would have never thought. It's yes on the level. It might not be. Everyone's having the human experience, but what's running the human being on the inside is not the light body. You're still connected to source, but you're not source in the body. Do you understand how that works? Like, I am the spark alive. They are alive by the spark, not aware of the connection. I'm fully connected and know who I am. Big difference. But you can grow at any time into me, but it might not be this lifetime. It might be this lifetime. It might even be before me. It might be after me. I don't know. I'm not here to fucking judge any of that shit, nor do I even care. Do I want more people on the field so I could play ball? Yes. Like I said, I will take my 300 or my 3 all day over whatever you got. I'll show up as one of those 3 and I'll pick 2 more and bring them with me. You ain't got nothing spiritually. Nothing. You ain't got nothing. Nothing. So that's all I got. I don't know. I who we really roll with as light body God creations and source, you got no shot. Unless you're on the team, then we're just on team. It's like, well, I could do the same thing. Good, you're on the team. We're on the same team. I'm on your team. If you don't want to be on my team, it's fine. But when you need me, I'm going to be there, because there's nothing more I like doing, like I told you guys, than making the demons go to sleep at night or during the day, whenever the fuck they sleep, right? And then they check under their bed for me. They look in their closet for me. They scream out, "No, what's it?" And they come in and, "Wait, what is it? What's going on in this room? Why are you awake?" And it's like, Frank's in my closet. Like, there's no such thing. And then the light's on in the closet, not off. Who turned that light on? Right? Like, that's what's up with me. Like, I get hyped for that. I get hyped for a lot of things too. But I'm this. So it's hard to like take away from anything. I just am part of the whole thing. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay. I get it. I get the whole download. How do you do this like this? Imprinted. Got it. I don't know how to do this. How do I hold 2 8x4s together without a thing? And I don't know what this thing is. And I've never touched this before. And how do I swing it? Let me get a Jesus character up in here to fucking help me with some carpentry. Bip. There he is. What do you need? I'm trying to make this work with this. You got to put the clip on like this, like that. And then you just done. No video necessary. Just that full download. All right. It's not on 100% by any means, but it's in there. And I've proved positive around me from my own experiences. You need to have yours. Whether you share it or not, that's entirely up to you. As long as you anchor the energy, who gives a shit? I go live to tell you it's real. It's all real. Do it. Here's the secrets to the secret society. They lie to each other till you're at 33. And then at 33, tell you we lied to everyone. It's really this. Which is the stuff I'm saying, which is why nobody likes me. They're like, oh, this motherfucker's just giving it away. Your boy Chris Gio used to yell at me. What are you telling them that for? What do you mean, what am I telling them that for? What am I supposed to hide things from what I'm talking about? He's like, oh, that's why the secret societies. I don't give a fuck about you guys and your secret societies and your bullshit. I'm source. Go keep your own secrets if you want. Like, there are people that need to wake up. How dare you hold me back and tell me anything about what's going on when I'm obviously cutting a straight path to the finish line, which is ascension protocols proper for the human race. Proper. So we haven't been proper. We got a matrix around us. A hologram is infected by other programming, by those that would fucking seek to distract and feed off of us and all this other crazy shit. So we're breaking that and breaking the next thing and breaking the next thing. System busters, I believe they call us. Call it whatever you want. You could be from anywhere. I don't care. Do it, though. You got to do it. Right? So we use plants, medicines to do it. Mushrooms, ayahuasca, regular life, lessons learned, understood, assimilated, proper, old habit die, continue growing. Making sense? I really, really, really hope I am. Remember, when you swing a sword, you're always going to be swinging a sword. I don't need a sword no more. Although I do use it, but I don't need to. I could literally look at you. I could send the higher me out. I don't want to talk about this yet, but I could send him out to do things that the sword would do that you don't need. Like I could just, all right. I watched Lord of the Rings last night. So a good description would be when the elf girl was rescuing Frodo from when he got stabbed, she gets the dark kings to try to cross the river. And then she just sends the river at them. And it looks like horses inside of the water. They just pummel the enemy. Like this higher piece of me just does that to whatever's not supposed to be there. Doesn't matter where they are. Full takeout. And there's nothing you could do about it. Nothing. If it was a chessboard, my character, if this was like what a regular character on the chessboard looks like, right? And like a powerful dark character was like, bong. So you're like, oh, well, there's regular Frank. And then that's like most people. And then maybe it gets a little smaller. And then they're picking on us constantly. So they're always making moves at us. So we would be like pawns and they would be like, I don't know, whatever the fuck they are. This is me right now that can act with this thing. Okay. But it's also filled with infinite fill. So I can make it bigger. I could get really small. I can make you still feel big. And then I could break you from that level. Right? It's like getting beaten up by a dude that's like this big. You have no shot. The fact that you thought you had a shot, that was the joke the whole time that I was laughing about. That's why you saw me and I was laughing at you. It's like, what's so funny? Well, the fact that you're about to do what you're going to do just for me to show you what real truth is. You see how fast the demons go in other directions when this happens. Let's go back to this split of 80-20. I have this list in front of me. I'm sorry if I'm not sticking to it, but I am bringing things back around, trying to make it all connect. So it was an 80-20 split. And then somehow between then, and that was like 8 years ago, and now, those numbers are completely off. I don't know if I'm ready to say 75-25 fake just yet, but we're right there. So I saw some shit with, not all walk-ins are good guys. Some of them have other beings. When people touting walk in, I'm a walk in. You don't necessarily get trusted right off the bat because you could be anyone. So really, when you're playing that, trying to be like Ascension Hero, remember, there's people like me going, shut up. None of that matters. I'm a walk-in. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself walk-in, because if you walk in and you're not real around me, you get knocked out of the body now. That's what happens. You're not supposed to be here. What are you even doing here? Where's the person that's supposed to be there? See, that's what Source was trying to show me some shit back then. But they were like, so walk-ins, everyone. Okay, so inside of the people that took the boopity boop for the fakety fake for the poison. Oh, God, you can't even fucking talk on this platform anymore. There's sections of those people that had the full blast of what they shouldn't. And there's sections that didn't have anything but water or saline. So they can keep those numbers low of victims as the years progressed. So they could try to take blame away from themselves and say they had their own cancers and whatever. And then when they would test your DNA wouldn't be that of a human, a traditional human. X, Y, and Z is supposed to be there. This has X, Y, and almost Z. Almost Z doesn't count with the Constitution. I'm going to fucking let you know right now. That's where this was headed, right? Once they test you and you're not human, you're a product. They change your DNA to not match what the book says. That could be digitally changed at any time. God, I fucking can't stand the villains. So somewhere between those people that took those doses that got the full blast, plus everyone who hasn't done the work, who still has the virus infection, that don't make it, would make it, but can't make it because they're just not going to be strong enough, and those that are just taken over because they took it. Plus, when things activate, the lights in the street, those purple lights are for control, guys. That's going to activate the frequency goes off, and you have the telemetry data information packet inside of you, and that needs to be uploaded. Does that make sense? Well, they're telling me, so I'm just repeating them. So that's crazy. Trying to change you into a robot. They'd be controlling you from lights because you took the boopity boop and you have that shit in you and you never cleared it out. You never did anything about it. Or you might have just like piles of that stuff in yourself even before any of this. You know, I'm not here for any of that. So for me, I'm avoiding at all costs in every direction anything that has involvement with that family, no family, whatever. I don't want to fucking hear it. Not going to do it. I had no teeth in my mouth. Still didn't go fucking through no stupid processes. I went through a whole bunch of shit. I even had to take antibiotics. I had to go buy them myself in India. Right? I didn't go to India. I called them though. You fucking better believe it. I need something to help me. They sent it and it cost less than 100, and I got enough for 100 people. I was like, wait, what? So I was able to destroy one thing. Then I got the fucking flu. Then I destroyed that too. Not letting you take me. You're not taking me this round. You're not doing anything. You're going to pretend to try, and it's going to be written into the script. So that means every fucking corner you go in, there's going to be some shit there. There's no place to hide. This isn't a time for hiding. This is revelation, revealing. We're about to change everything, apocalyptic style. The whole thing's going to shifting into something new, meaning nothing old will work there. Sorry. It's what we're here to do. Are you ready to do that? Yeah, the purple lights is how they're connecting the information and sending it to you and uploading and downloading control packs. So putting the glasses on in the Roddy Piper movie. God, I can't remember anything right now. So the Roddy Piper movie is where he puts the glasses on and he sees that there's something different happening around them. There's a scene in the movie where he runs outside and he's playing with the glasses on and off, and he looks at the street light, and the street light is got like a little antenna on it. When he puts the glasses on, he only sees it, and it's like going beep 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 beep, right? So he's like, what the hell? And he notices they're on all the street lamps. So the street lamps are giving off some kind of data telemetry. Boop, 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 boop. And then this little sphere shows up And then he looks at it and he goes, are you ratting me out or some shit? Are you telling them where I am? Yeah, they live. Wow, the whole thing lit up. They live. So he looks up and he sees that the thing is there. He takes the glasses off. It's not there. He can't see it. That's that visual light frequency. They're showing you how they're going to do it in the movie. Okay, so I have movie things here too. We watched hey, y'all should go watch X-Files the movie again. Because this seems to come up more than not. But in that movie, they're doing the exact same thing they're trying to do now. They're trying to modify your DNA and change it in the movie. And they were saying in the movie, instead of body snatchers, it was a controlled takeover by another species. So you get your injections and do your things, and then you physically, your vessel changes, and then it like ejects you, and the other thing takes over parasitically. Things being pushed on us parasitical is that show on HBO with Pedro Pascal. God, I don't remember that name either. So I've been staying away from a lot of stuff, but obviously the show is about the cordyceps mushroom takes off and starts growing in people, creating zombies. So they're showing you how they're growing those things in you. Meanwhile, you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, they're finding those rubbery substances they're pulling out of people. Right? How do you know what that is? They look exactly the same as from the TV show. Like, you don't think they're taking part in TV show, telling you first over here and then it happens over there? And it's happening more and more frequently. So that you have the Ohio derailment, and then there was some show on Netflix where they did it. I think it was White Noise or some whatever. Adam Driver was in it. And it's in that exact town where there's a derailment and then chemical explosions and then fake UFOs. And the UFOs is pulling their attention away from that. But really, it's about that. That's crazy. That's really fucking crazy. So it goes back to the fucking UFO card. So you're at 90 seconds to the doomsday clock. You got movies and television shows that have been telling you for years exactly what they're doing. You got, okay, so the Grammys, full. If you guys don't know, and I'm just speaking for those that don't know, that's a satanic ritual performance. You're not going to be with us on the other side. You'll be there at another round at another time, and we'll see you then, kid. But you're going to be hanging out here for a while because there's nothing we can do for you. You're under the spell. You have to break the spell. I can't grab you and shake you out of it. But if I transform in front of you, perhaps that's enough to shake you free. If I'm lucky enough to be able to work with some awesome people out there through the ayahuasca or whatever plant medicines and you work through things, that's just amazing as well. Right. I don't have time to argue points because it's not worth it. I'm too busy creating warriors. Right. They're not following my cult. They leave me and become their own being at the highest level, their own full individual. That's just awesome. So that's what I'm sending out into this world. Awesome individuals, people that give a shit, that are compassionate and loving and kind. But if they have to fucking pick something up and help somebody, they're going to fucking do it. No, we don't have time for the bullshit no more. Every day the new cycle changes. Who did this? Who did what? It was them the whole time. They did everything. Tell me you want me dead without saying a fucking word about wanting me dead, and you just turn on the news. They're pushing every agenda on you. They're telling people it's safe to breathe the air, but don't drink the water. Yeah. So there's no lawsuits if you're dead. If I made $6 billion and pay out $1 million in damages, you're still dead. And I'm still a billionaire. No one cares. You see how that works? You have to care enough to back out of the matrix mentally and just do your thing. That will anchor the high energy frequency. Thus, that harmonization within you will like hook up with the sun and what the sun is sending out. And that information goes back and forth. And as we come online, there's people that need to come online now that know just as much of nothing as I did when I started, but we'll get it all in like a 2-month period to a year period and have no choice but to go through the downloads now, because it's fucking 90 seconds on the doomsday clock is really 90 seconds on the ascension clock. They're like, when that hits 0, that counter, that's the solar flash. That's doomsday for them, not for us. For me, I walk outside and I can handle it. I can handle it as if I was holding a chain to Source, and Source sent the energy down into my fucking hand, and I was worthy like Thor to hold the fucking electric hammer and hold it out and ground it through me into Mother Earth so that she can lift into the next fucking realm without killing us. It's like showing her we're all here helping. An energetic net that helps raise the whole thing. Or you're so heavy, you become light, air quotes, light, right? You become light again. And then as you get lighter, it's like being on water. It rises, it raises up with everyone. Like you become lighter. So now you did your part. Everyone's got to kind of lose the fuck, sorry, you can't be 450 pounds and think you're going to go horseback riding. You can't. There's things you got to do to make the change, and then you can do what you need to do. We're still in a 3D environment and act that way. Right? You don't get in by proxy. I'm sorry, you fucking don't. That's not how this works. And I wasn't saying overweight people aren't getting in, so don't think that's what I was saying at all. I mean, just by hanging out and being like, yeah, you're right, that doesn't get you in. It just doesn't. There's going to be levels that we hit where things could last and work, and things that were working will never work again. This is why the mantras are there to teach you and uplift you. But when you're on the highest level, you're not doing that. You are that. You become it. You know what it's like to unlock saying the just the Om, right? Whatever that does for you, the Om or the Om Padme Hum, right? Like we say that now. We say these different things now to raise us up and lift us up energetically. And then we remember where it brings us at its height that we've achieved. And that becomes a staple in your mind because you're doing it repetitively. And each time you're granted a little bit further out. But each time you seem to need less and less ohms and breaths to do it because you are it. You just needed to work through all that shit. It's like we already made the choice. We know what we are, but then came back here and had to live through it to understand it better, to be able to explain it on a table. Look, this is how it works. This is how I saw it. This is what happened. This is how it went down. Yo, Mike, Della introduced me to that show when it first came out, and this season's inside job was insane, right? It just doesn't let up. With the AI and the president and all that shit. They're telling us how it's done. Period. But they also have to tell you the other stuff. What they do is they like to corrupt the message, right? And they want to control. So anything that's controlling is pulling you to one side. Anything that's allowing you to live free and breathe and move up and on, that's part of the ascension protocols. You're supposed to just be able to let go and accept and go, not have to fucking die repetitively over and over. Oh, it's so painful. Like we are already doing that part. It's not all about pain and suffering anymore. We can't do that. You can't be a victim. You're not graduating a victim. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not. And I still throw temper tantrums, and I'd be like victim, and then I laugh like I'm a fat little baby. I don't know. It's weird, man. I know it's weird. It's upside down, inside out. but it's what we got, and it's what we are, and it's what we can do. Damn, my coffee's cold. All right, I need to take a break. I'm gonna play a song, so you can take a break, get some whatever, and then we'll come back. I got some stuff to talk about. We're just scratching the surface of what I wanted to discuss. And oh yeah, right before I go do this, yo, the I Am We Are Fearless website is changing. I'm changing. Things are that were there are no longer going to be available, where other things will be, and there'll be new things. So if there's anything you've wanted to check out or whatever, you better go check it out, because I changed it all up. I'm limiting certain things, and then I have new stuff to put up and promote. So like everything's changing in this world. Like the I Am We Are Fearless page, you can go there, and all the Sons of the Suns has its own section. So you can go there and check out all that. We got stickers, and we got hoodies. We got champions too. T-shirts for everything. We got really cool, big, giant 15-ounce, the big jammy mugs with the different designs on it. And I have that for Fearless as well. You can go over there, check it out, because whatever's there is now, and then it's going to change up again. It's just I haven't got to whatever I changed so far is what I changed, and I'm still doing 100% of a change. So, I'm just alerting you to it, because I never promote it and I never push it, but it's not going to be there to be had like that. So if there's something you liked for the last round of things, if you don't get it now, it might not be on the table later, because things have to change. The whole environment has to change. And I'm all about the change. Come here. Magical Bofetti. You see everybody on TV? That's Teddy Bofetti. Gee, that's saucy. What were you eating? Now I really... Oh... Nick McDaniel, thank you so much, my brother. I love you so much. Sending you most positive vibes, and I appreciate this so much. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Stick in there. We're going to be back in a minute. Let me just share this screen. I'm going to mute me.
What's good, fam? KG and Frankie Fearless in your area. Sons of the sun from another dimension, with the intention of shedding light on low frequency prevention. Not to mention it's just how we do. I'm here representing like I've always been. I make magic or wreak havoc with the click of this pen. Thing that's problematic when the light becomes dim. But with a foot on the gas, we've been accelerating. With your head already bobbing, you digging the virus, and we never break a band when helping peeps is in. We never spin out of control, no matter what our position. Having mantras on the ready, fuel the verbal ammunition, cause I was never supposed to be spitting this verse in the grimy, gritty city. I was going for worse. I had no one dare store, but then I quickly reversed. Now I keep up with fan from across the universe, cause I got up, got packed with no fucking chit chat. With death smile, I bring back with a light sword and a pitch smack. Switched up my format, quit being a doormat. Here spitting pure facts at raw power, yours at.
That's how we do. Stay forward, uncut. It's like
and when the family comes together, all the portals open up. It's like you know what time it is. And now to close it out, Frank, get up on the mic and tell them what you all about.
Yo, light sword practice with friends abroad. We're getting bored, looks like it's time for more. Rush the floor, all my angels watch the door. About to turn my consciousness into something raw. Feel me scream, trying to get in between. Things around me are still not what they seem. Talk is cheap, watch it when you cross my street. Well, I mean the choice is yours, domain or cream. My team's full steam, no matter what you need. Like beans about to break out upon the see. They came and paid a visit to me in my dream. They said, this is me, get up off your knees. And I need something to drink cause I'm about to faint into the universe because I'm feeling great. The shroom's taking me up into a different place. My name is Frankie Fearless and I come from space. That's how we do stay raw and uncut. It's like
and when the family come together, all the portals open up. It's like
that's how we do stay raw and uncut. It's like
and when the family come together, all the portals open up. It's like
Melrose stay falling on the ground. Their lies unraveling. And he's no longer spellbound. The song is maddening, but the signs have been all around. To the stars we are traveling. Blast off, now here comes that same.
my third eye sees all things aligned. The questions you ask are locked all in your mind. Tired of being confined. Let the eye clear out the grind. Meditations will clear. Teaches of the visions refined. See the designs as we all start to combine. I'll create a molecules with every single enzyme. Not coming back again for a reset and rewind. Putting in the work, then I catch a portal through time.
I think it's time that we all go you out. Your actions craft as you profit from all the fallout. You won't fall in love in your shit show stories over solo. The child you brand all there is no doubt. I think it's time that we cut you out. Your actions craft as you profit from all the fallout. You won't fall in love in your shit show stories over solo. The child you brand all there is no doubt. There is no doubt. As an open now that keeps us alert to this game. We'll do anyhow as one. That's when we'll reclaim. No, I won't allow your tricks to control this mainframe. And we never back from within. That's how we make that change.
so many things are activating this time. Going round and round till our minds open wide. Enjoy the ride, let the frequencies get you high. Like ayahuasca did when she helped me change my life. Now I see geometry in the trees, and I begin to respect all the things like me. Now breathe in and out with ease. Release. Time to fill this world with some peace.
I think it's time that we all call you out. Your actions craft as you profit from all the fallout. We won't fall in love in your shit show stories over solo. The child you brand all there is no doubt. I think it's time that we cut you out. Your actions
For any given teaching, the whole ancient concept of the reader stories of ancient year is the soul.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking in there. I had to feed some cats, make the coffee real quick, get it hot, get it hot like fire for this next part. So I want to thank everybody for sticking by me when it comes to Sons of the Sun. So shout outs to my man KG, the Professor Prime. I mean, the creator behind the creation. Yes, I work within it with him, but wow, what this man does. So I just want to say thank you because we started from zero. I wanted to live through something that I never lived really through before because my original group, Heist Click, had followers already. Like we were in the Morris Park group of people that live in Morris Park, right? And everyone knew us. So when we were rapping, we instantly had local coverage. It was a little annoying at first because a lot of our friends like to fight and do stupid shit. So we couldn't really get them involved in anything. But people came around, right? So that was cool. Kevin and I started from zero. Nothing. Concept. 100%. And within the last couple of years. So a lot of people work a lot faster than us. It's me that holds everything back. Trust me when I say that. However, everything seems to be working exactly as it planned, on time, ready to go. You know, you can't fight the river. So I got to go with what I got to go with. And we're doing really good. And I appreciate you for those that stuck by. I was making a joke at like 16. We had 16 fans on Spotify, 16 people that liked it. And then it went down to 4. And then it went to 2. And I said, well, that's not possible to be 2. I like it already. I'm on Kev's Spotify and he likes it. His girl's in there. My girl's in. That's 4. My mother is sitting right there. She clicked it. My brother clicked it. So they're obviously lying to us. But now we're up into the couple of hundreds. And it's real. Certain songs are getting play. So, you know, we now have I have label status with Kevin over at TuneCore Distribution. Didn't have that before. It can put out any form of music. And the new good part is all the samples now get taken care of by TuneCore. So I could just do whatever. Kev could do whatever. And they'll just take out what goes to whoever, the proper amount, and send it. I knew this would happen in my heart, that we would be in the soundtrack to the Ascension Revolution. I knew we would be there as if we were never not there. You would look back and say, yeah, they've always been there. That was something I said up front. So now witnessing that, I love you too, man. So witnessing that has just been magic for me. Lexi, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I love you so much. We both love you. You know, I really hope you enjoy it. And I'm just appreciative that I'm able to do this. And then it's another thing like Fearless. Like, look, more creation. This is example for you to ride out on, to you to step up into your thing. It doesn't always have to be like videos like this. And you know, sometimes it's helping a fucking cat that needs food. You know, sometimes it's cleaning up the front of your house so people don't step in dog shit, especially here in the Bronx. Things like that. Like, not all heroes wear capes. We do these little things that get us into these big positions. It's something I can't stress enough, right? Because whenever I listen to somebody in the videos, like, and I'm like, oh, this guy's good. And I listen to him, and 5 minutes into it, I could find 10 things I disagree with, which is great. I'm not here to disagree with you, though. Like, if there's a nugget of knowledge, all right, I try to take it, and then I just move in a position. That's it. If I don't know about it, I can't take it for truth. So when you're like, I'm from the Lyrian High Council, okay. What am I supposed to say? No, you're not. You know, Corey Good came out the other day and said, I have so many people. I mean, I know a lot of people lost respect for him, but I'm going to tell you what happened with some of these guys like Alex Jones and him. Corey and Alex both had to go back on laurels and said they were lying and just made shit up so they could get out of like millions of dollars of lawsuits. That's it. It's pretty fucking simple when they're going. And what is Alex out for? $1 billion? Whether they see that money or not, they got it, right? So you're going to give it. Okay, so Corey had to go. I made it all up. Obviously, you didn't make up the Blue Avians. They've been around for longer than Corey. Toth is literally a Blue Avian. Horace is a Blue Avian. Nobody complains when you say that. They can only complain that Corey Good said Blue Avian. He's trying to to trademark that shit, and you can't trademark that. So there's so much scumbaggery going on in that environment that these dudes would go to those fucking levels to do shit, to say something a little extra, right? Alex Jones has been proven right a bazillion times, but yet you'll point out Sandy Hook when he was obviously right about that too, but you can't say that, right? So he had parts of it right and parts of it incorrect, but parts of it fucking big correct. So whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. See, even if he's controlled opposition and is the guy screaming conspiracy, that's not a conspiracy, it's real, it's real, it's real, is because they still, so if he's controlled, they still need to put him out there to say what they're doing, and which he tells you that. Literally tells you that. So knowing that information, you take in the information you need and you leave the rest. Who gives a shit? Ah, fuck that guy because of Sandy Hook. What do you know? What do you know? What do you fucking know? Huh? How many times have you been fucking wrong? Right? Judgmental pricks. The guy turns you on to 1,000 things or is responsible for millions of people knowing that fluoride's bad. But because he pointed something out that he was correct, and then it got so far-fetched and bent, and then the entire system collapsed on top of him. If I was fighting that system, it would collapse on top of me too. Right? But I can't prove some of these spiritual things with you guys. You have to go experience them yourself in one way or another. Whether you do it with or without entheogens, that's your fucking decision. Right? See, here we go. Blue Chicken Saga. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Blue Chicken Saga. See, this is what pisses me off. Blue chickens. Go back to every fucking solar deity that you know, and anyone with a different head that's not a human, that's a different color, especially blue avionic characters, are those guys. I'm not mad. I'm just trying to make a point that if one guy says it, the other guy's a fucking dummy, right? But if I say it, it's correct. How is that? It's because the beings are there. You're thinking like, oh, they can't be there. They're blue chickens or whatever. It's made up because it's Gaia and it's Corey Good. No. What if he is right 50% and then makes up a bunch of shit? And that's nobody's problem but his own, because he's a human being and he's thinking about money. How can I stop them from stealing the story? So he does a comic book and all this stupid shit. That's a cash grab. Know the difference. I'm going to explain another thing. So I went on the ship. I spoke about this already. And when I was on the ship, there was all these people I didn't like. So Charlie Ward was on the ship. You guys know who Charlie Ward is? He's a dude from the UK that's involved in a bunch of this stuff. I literally thought he was like super pedo because he was involved with a whole bunch of things that were unsavory. He's on the ship, like sitting there. So I said, "What is he doing here?" I read right up. I was ready to rock right there. And they were like, "Dude, didn't we tell you it's a heist?" I'm like, "Yeah." And now as I'm with him, I'm realizing what's happening and that he's one of our operatives. Because the other guys like Simon Parks and them, they weren't there. Not that that's the be all end all, but there was a bunch of us up there and we were called into like a giant meeting. So I was there with a bunch of people, man. And some of them were like, we can't handle what the physical flesh character has the independence to do whatever it wants. So I can't control if like that character hates you or you hate that character. But these are the people that went in from here. These are the people. We're all the good guys. And I looked around and it was obvious, like, yeah, you're right. Damn. So how many times are you wrong? I was, before Corey came out, he wasn't out yet. I was talking about a guy named Corey that was on the fucking spaceship. It was a sphere out by the sun that it was Thoth's ship, right? The Egyptian deity. It was a big fucking bird-headed blue guy with human flesh color here, but he was blue up here, blue bird head. I'm on the ship with him, and I'm like, the sphere, and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, well, you work. This is where you're from. If you're from here, like you're with us up here. So I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I saw my symbol. I saw a beautiful symbol. I said, why is that on the floor like that? That's really beautiful. It like lights up every time I walk on it. They're like, that. Well, that's yours. You literally stand next to me and work. Like we work right here. So I kind of panned out a little bit and was like, oh shit, look. I was very small compared to them. They're big in stature and nature. And when I saw this guy, I saw a human across from me and I said, oh shit. And there was a whole commotion going on. There was all these different beings I had talked about. There was a big white ball of light in the room, like a sphere of light. They were walking people 2 by 2 into the light. And then they were walking them in and it was showing them the evil deeds they've done. And then they were like losing their shit and then walking out. Like I saw reptilians crying. Like it was weird, but there was all kinds of beings in 2 by 2s, right? Just like you would hear from Noah's Ark, like the guy and the girl, but they were just whatever. And there was 2 of them. I was standing next to these velociraptor men and they said, hey, don't stand next to them. They'll bite you. That thing will bite you, light body or not. It'll go for it. And I saw that and I was like, whoa, these guys are a little snap happy. I saw an octopus being that tried to like get me to get him off the line. And I'm like, nope. I walked right over to the human and said, oh, look, another human, not realizing I was my light body. I thought it was Frank, just me in the flesh. But I was in my light body. So I was standing there and he freaked the fuck out. He was like, I got up in his face and there were 2 blue avians. There was a female and a male, and they were both really tall. This is before anybody heard about it, what a blue avian was. He didn't even mention this shit yet. Okay. There was no Wilcox mentioning it. This was before that. So he looked delirious when he looked at me. So I looked right into his face. I'm like, yo, man, I'm Frank. Who are you? And they were like, yo, leave Corey alone. So I go, who? He's Corey? Corey, nice to meet you. And he was like, I go, did you guys drug him? And they're like, he can't handle being up here like this. You're obviously not handling it that well either. You're running around like a child. And I was like, all right, my bad. Sorry. I turned to the blue avians, the 2 bird beings. They were blue, feathered, but like the way I have hair, feathers. They were blue. They were tall. One was male, one was female, and they had brown ones that were guards. They were like dudes that were ready to run up on you if you got too close to the blue one. I said, nice to meet you, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of bird-headed beings here, as well as Thoth, right? I'm meeting everyone. This is crazy. Like I'm totally in weirdness of it. But I was like, can I touch you? You have feathers. That's what I said to her. And she said, come here. Walked right up to her. She was explaining to me that Corey couldn't He was like under spell. That's like sleep, like a sleep. So he's awake, but he's not coherent. Like you jumped in his face. You're bright and you're colorful. So she was explaining this to me. So I was like, oh, okay. And when I got closer to her, her lips, they look like beaks from 5 feet away, 6 feet. When I got close to her, they looked like little lips that were just shaped that way. And I was like, yo, can I touch you? And she said, yes. So I touched like this. I said, wow, that's soft as my lips. Beautiful. Like there's no fuzz. I have fuzz, so it's rough. No rough on her. She let me fucking doof right on her face. I rubbed her arm, both like, oh, and it felt exactly like mine. Like you couldn't pull the feather off, but if you yanked hard enough, just like a piece of hair, you could pull it right out. So it's like this. They're not everywhere on her. There's in spots. And I was like, you're beautiful. And she was very tall. And I was like, can I have a hug? And she said, yes. And the guy that was next to her looked at me and smiled like beautiful she was. And she fucking hugged me. And it was the best hug ever. She like covered my whole body with the hug. I told Chris Gio that shit, went on his show, talked about it. And then Corey came out a month or two later. I didn't know anything. I didn't know who David Wilcock was. I didn't know who Corey Good was. All I have is time, dates, and stamps on shows. That's all I have for proof. But Chris was like, Corey, who? Like he didn't even hear it. And then when he heard about him, he goes, ah, brr. And then I said, and how many blue people have we met? I literally told you about this months ago, and we had the argument backstage, and he was going, oh, you're a Corey Good follower. And I'm like, I don't follow anyone. I hang out with you, motherfucker. Like I don't follow these people. I met him on the ship. I'm just telling you, just go check your fucking show, bro. When I got to argue points, this is why I don't care about this. It's all competition. Fucking straight jealousy. Okay? When you look up from up high, you're like, oh, everyone's jealous of everyone else. Why does it have to be you and not me? Because you don't do the fucking work. Because you're trying to sell it. How could you make $1 on it? How can I make people suck my fucking dick because I have the fucking super juice and you don't? This has been going on since day one. For real. Every fucking fake pastor and priest, Joel Osteen fucking follower. What are you, fucking stupid? What's wrong? Well, he's got a great message. Yeah. So does fucking Pfizer and Moderna. You fucking dummy. I can't get into the fight with you no more. I can't make you see. I don't want to make you see. I don't care. I love you, but I don't care. If that's your choice. I have family members that didn't tell me about how many fucking times they went and took the fucking bioweapon. And it turns out it's a lot. A lot. More than you would think that Frank Castle, me, Frankie Fearless, Sorcerer Supreme, obviously the people around him are all cool. Nah, it's me and Paula wrapped in a fucking ball. A fucking protection. With cats. That's it. You get what you get. You got what you got. Now, I'm nothing special. I'm the one that woke up. That's it. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. I'm not here to fight with anyone, and I don't give a flying fuck about all the other bullshit and all the other people and what they're saying. And do you know this one said this? Did you go in and look? Go in where? Go inside in you. If I got to explain what that even means, why are you arguing points with me? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm at that level, and it's like I'm trying my best to teach. No, I don't. That's not right. I'm telling my story as a teaching parable lesson for those willing to follow the story and then translate it to their own personal experiences in life to know that this can occur. There's nothing about me that's crazy and insane. This place is psychotic. I'm the straight one. Trust me on that one. All right. And I'm not trying to lead you to the promised land. I don't give a shit. I lead you to you. I lead you directly back to yourself so you can deal with yourself. And then you can do the things that you need to do yourself, because that's what creates a fucking hero. You want to be one of the 300? Then get up. You just got to stand up and do it. All right. That being said, I'm not fucking bitching at that no more. I don't really care about what they do. What bothers me is when I hear my people flexing it back to me. It drives me fucking nuts. That's what drives me crazy. I'm like, but we spoke about that like 100 fucking times. But this is what it is, homies. If you're not ready to hear it, you're not going to hear it. So if I covered it 100 times and you still are pretending like you never heard me say it, and then when this person says it, you bring it to me like, you know what they said? And I'm like, I've been telling you that the whole time. And then they're like, no, you haven't. And I'm like, literally, you can just go back and watch. I have over 1,000 hours of it. You can just see for yourself. It's all labeled. And it's not about that. It's just, that's the frustrating part at this point. So it turns us into hermits. It turns guys like me and ladies like me, girls like whatever. It changes us. Makes us not want to, not help, but do what we do now. We did what we did to help. And how much help am I going to be if I don't consistently upgrade myself? Yeah, what would I be then if I didn't do it myself? It's not just I'm giving you a reading or turning a card, or I got to live the life, understand it, translate it back, and directly say what I see. Okay, so now that I said before, the 80-20 split now looks more like 75-25, which 25% creator beings and 75% non-essential, essential, non-essential. I had to go and see for myself and see what's going on next. This is what winds up happening. We wind up having a session of ayahuasca for a couple of days, a couple of clients, family members, Fearless family. We got the setup, did our thing. Everyone had their thing to do while under. So one guy will go under what he needs to go under and handle his own business, while the other one goes to handle his business. My business as the shaman is to make sure they're okay. But I ate a handful of mushrooms the first night, more than I should have ate. And the second night I did it again. And universe rewards bravery on fucking levels that you just won't be aware of unless you're willing to take the opportunity. So I wasn't feeling that my clients needed to be babied. One is new, one has done this before. Everyone always needs assistance. I'm there. I got you. But I mean, like demonic removal or some shit like that. There was none of that. That was not. It's so fucking beautiful when there's none of that. You get hit with the shadow work and the enlightenment behind it, and then the visuals with the whole thing. So cycles, it comes back around. Frank has a hard time listening to stuff like, hey, Frank, you think you could turn over for a second? It'll only take a second. It's like, yeah, well, you want me to lay on my back? If I lay on my back, I feel like I'm choking, but I don't have apnea, which is weird. So no, I lay on my side, almost on my back. See how I'm just playing this out? And it's like, dude, just turn over. I'm laying on the floor, having this experience. And they're like, we need you now to separate from everyone that's in this apartment. And I go, okay, what do you need me to do? I'm like, whatever, right? Like it's all good. I go, they're like, just lay down on the floor. So I'm like, all right. Got a little pillow, put it under my head. I kind of curl up into a ball, put my hood over my head. I'm like, this really amazing feeling comes over me. And they're like, can you turn over and lay on your back? Now, this was anyone that's heard the shows before know that I've caused pandemonium by not laying on my back. Like entire hours of ayahuasca where they send people to me, could just turn over on your back just for 1 second. It'll be, and I'm like, nope. Eat a fucking dick today, sir. But humbly, I'm not turning over. And they're like, it would just work better. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up and die if I do that. I can't breathe because I've been having these weird panic attacks as an older guy. I don't understand what's happening. And they're like, it's frequency. Just turn over and lay on your fucking back. So this time I just laid on my back. I said, sure thing, no problem. Immediately, the whole situation changed. And it was like my forward visual, like I knew I was laying in the room because I could see the room from here down. I could see my body, and the floor, kind of the part of the wall, because I was laying like. So they were like, and when I say they, I don't, his voice is talking to me, and I'm not seeing them yet. So they say, yo, relax. This is your Osiris moment. So I go, I don't even know what the fuck that means, except maybe rebirth. Again, I've already had Osiris, Horus, this one, that one. Like, what is happening? So they're like, yo, just relax. Take a deep breath. So Joe will tell you, the only thing you can control during ayahuasca is your breath. So you breathe. It changes the whole scenario with your intention. You could just take a deep breath and say, I'm not feeling this. And whatever, get me out of here. Boom, you're gone. Can you slow it up? Can you stop it? Can you change it? Can you answer a question? Boom, it just works. But you got to breathe. That's all you can control. So I could take a deep breath, and then it pulls me up out into the ship, and I'm inside like what looks like a medical bay inside of a ship. So I don't know what the outside of the ship looks like, but I know I'm in the ship, and I'm standing there like this with my arms crossed, just like I am on the floor. I was like this. And I had so Joe made me, by the way, if you guys love wands, like crystal, like magic wands, look at the wand Joe made for me. It has very special qualities and does certain things for me specifically. I don't have to take the energy I take on. So I'm not waving the wand. I'm carrying it with me during ceremony. So I had this on my chest, and I was holding it like that. And I realized that either I went up in the ship, I was in my light body, and my body was still in the room, or did the ship descend over where I was laying down to where I fit on the medical bed there. It was like a tank that I was in, but I was physically standing there in my light body, seeing my body. Now it wasn't on the floor, but I'm like, well, obviously I'm on the floor. I know I'm on the floor. I could feel the floor. No, can I feel the floor? And then I was completely detached. I was just the light body on the ship looking at my body inside a tank. And it was like a greenish fluid, greenish light, but watercolor bubbles in it. And I said, what's going on? And they said, well, there was a guy, like a regular guy. It was just like a human man in a little outfit, like a Starfleet outfit, working right here on holographics. And he said, you said your back hurts still. I said, my back always hurts, dude. Like, it's an injury. My arms, I can't even lift things anymore. Sometimes it's very frustrating. So he goes, okay, I'm going to try something new today. He goes, pay attention to your body. Don't freak out. And I was like, what? I said, how can I freak out? I'm a light body, Frank. Like I could see the difference. I saw my reflection was a light body. I was like, this is great. So I'm looking in the tank, and they put this thing over the tank, and it looks like speakers of some kind, and this bar. So it like lowered it over the tank. So I was like, okay, what are you doing with that? And he goes, boop, boop, and the body just disperses into the liquid. And I was like, yo, where's the body? And they're like, it's in there. It's in the liquid. I go, what did you just do? And they were like, we atomically dismembered the whole thing. Took the whole thing apart. It's in the liquid. Don't worry about it. It's like memory foam. He was trying to explain it to me where I'm not freaking the fuck out. So then they lower. I see the speaker. There were two of them. They were like, boom. And then it was holding that frequency. And then they lowered it into the water, into the liquid. And that bar comes down, and there was a spine. Dude, this is the fucking freakiest thing. There was a spine that looked like if Iron Man built it. It was red and shiny and big, and it had like areas to screw it in, like a metallic fucking protector spine. It was crazy looking. I go, holy shit, what are you going to do with that? They lowered it in, and then he goes, and then the body started forming as the sound changed, and they stop it right where my spine shows up fully, and they zip it in. And I'm like, what are you zipping that into? It was crazy to fucking watch this, right? So then it went, and my body was back. And they're like, all right, it's in. So I went, what is that? And the guy looks at me and goes, that is the Demon Slayer 5000. And he's just smiling. So I go, you guys had lifetimes to come up with a fucking cool name, and you Demon Slayer 5000 is the best you got. And some dude in the background screams, it's a good fucking name. Demon Slayer 5000. You don't like it, God? And I go, obviously, you're the guy that named it. It was the funniest thing. And he goes, it's a good name. I said, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. He goes, you're the Demon Slayer. So the Demon Slayer needs a Demon Slayer. I go, okay, fine. I'll take it. So it's been growing on me, by the way. It's like I Love You 3000, except it's 5000 and it's demon slaying. So fuck off. We're not the same. Yeah. So while that was occurring, I saw a guy next to him run up and start arguing that he wanted to talk to me. I heard him scream, I want to talk to him. And I said, who's that? And they were like, oh, we didn't want to have to do this now, but you got to talk to this guy. So I'm like, okay, who is it? And they're like, well, it's your son. I go, what? They're like, it's your son. You spoke to him last time. And I go, wait a second. You got to send him in here now. Because I was so mean to people that called themselves my family on the other side, wherever the fuck that is, wherever I am on the ship. I denied an entire family that they were like, that's your wife, that's your kids. And I'm like, no, it's not. I had no feeling around them. None. So I don't know. But we were on the same ship, and I was like, nah. And they were all cool. They were all different. And it was weird. And they all wanted to meet me. Everybody just wanted to see me and tell me they love me. And I was like, no kids, fuck off. Ain't no kid of mine. And then I felt terrible. One time with myself, I got so scared of one of the beings that I am in the fractal. It was like a robotic being that I got so scared they removed me from it happening. And then the minute they disconnect, he like connected to me as a robot. He like jumped up on me like a spider, and then big red thing. And I was, and he was in my head. And then we were the same. It was me. And then they pulled us apart, but because of the way I flinched out, I was like, no, they removed it. And as I was being removed, we both reached out for each other and couldn't, they were like, you're out. That was too much for them. They thought that would have been all right for me to see with all the other shit that I've seen. It's just, it moves so fast. He moves so fast, and I couldn't move like I was moving like me. And he just grabbed me and pulled me in. And I was like, the Terminator's got me, motherfucker. Nah, all this work. And now they're going to get me on this desolate fucking thing that I'm standing on in the middle of space with this stupid fuck. What the fuck? Like, I was totally angry. And it was me. And then I missed him ever since. And I feel it. So all these have added up over time. And it hurts now that I love everything as much as I can. I'm not resentful. I just don't want kids here. And it was so set in because of what I have to do here isn't conducive to children. I just don't care. You could go teach your kid the right way of this. And then without the cursing. And I tried all that. I tried it. It doesn't work for me. And I love them. I just won't hang out. I'm not. I got to get the 300 up and running. That's my position. That's my job. So that's what I'm concerned with. So I don't have kids. So one of the times this kid came to me, it was exactly the same guy. And I was sitting in like an area where I was like waking up. And then he looks at me and then I go, "Are you God?" And he goes, "No, dummy, I'm your son." And I go, "Sounds like me. Looks like me. She got hair like your mother." He had like cool hair. I don't have fucking hair. So I'm a little jealous of that beautiful look on his face. And then I said, "Oh, son, I was just with your mother, Paula." And he goes, "She's not my mother." He was all pissed off. And then I go, "I don't know what's happening here. You guys could be lying to me again." Right. And then he's like, "Does it look like I'm lying to you?" Like he sat me, touched my hand. I sat up and I was like, "Oh man, what is it?" Right? Like, you tell me what's going on from your perspective. Let me know, because I'm just waking up onto a fucking spaceship, apparently. And he goes, "No, I'm coming down there. So it's going to be your job to find me, to recognize me, but I will be in your stuff. But like, you're going to have to find me." I go, "What do you want me to adopt you?" Like, I immediately was a dick. I go, who do I know that's going to have a kid that could be around me in the near future, that would be hanging out with me in any way, shape, or form, that the kid would be like some kind of character in my life? They would think I'm some fucking weirdo if that happened. So I thought about everyone I knew that could have kids. There was only one person. And I said, "If you come through that person, I'm purposely not going to come see you." Like, just, I go, "I don't like those people. I know you may have to break the generational thing that way, but I'm not doing it. I don't care." That's how bad it is. So I just had to let it go and forgive it. But that don't ever mean I got to be in the same fucking room as it ever again. So don't do that. So that was the last time I saw him. And he said to me, "Well, it's up to you. You're going to have to decide to whatever. And I think I knew what he was. I think we were talking about the same person. So I was like, he wouldn't say it, but I was like, "If you do that, I'm just not going to be there." So he says, he comes running up to me and he looks at me. He goes, "Oh, Dad, finally they let me talk to you." I go, "Well, I don't think they want to confuse me." And they're like, yeah. So he goes, "I'm not coming down there. Fuck this." And I go, "Yeah, man, he looks and sounds he looks just like me, with no facial hair and skinny, but athletic, like swimmer's build." And I'm just looking at him, and I'm the light body. So I'm admiring myself in the reflection of the container of my body, while he's just yapping away and telling me, "See how I am?" He's just yapping away because I don't know. So I'm like, "Yeah, all right, whatever. But I love you, and how can I help?" And he's like, "Well, I'm just not coming in because it's not worth it. That whole chain of command is not where I would be coming through. Like, you change the function again, so we're not doing that. It'll be faster for you to come see me here," he said, "than for me to go down there and you to find me. There's like nothing in the optimum timeline that's acceptable in that position." And I go, "I fucking told you. We have no place for that right now." Right? So then I said to him, "So I'm your dad, huh?" Yo, guys, you got to have fun with this stuff sometimes, because it could get really psychotic. I said, look upon me with lovingly eyes, knowing I'm so fucking glorious. And he goes, you're a dick. And then I looked at him and go, exactly. But I was so much bigger than him and I was reflecting in the light and it felt so good. And I said, all right, listen, I do love you. I'm just playing. I'm playing because apparently I'm the demon slayer. He goes, yeah, that guy won't give that shit up. We had a full conversation. So then he's like, all right, so your job now is to get ready to see us. So I go, wait, what? I'm seeing you right now. He goes, no, dude, you got this whole thing wrong. This is to help you, what we're doing right now. But for Frank to not be in a tank and stand here with no light body, but, you know, just be the flesh, you got some work to do. So I go, well, what kind of work? Right. And they're like, all right, you ready? So he says, you keep an eye out for me up here. Obviously, when I see you, I'm just going to come running right to you. You're my dad. So I was like, all right, look, I'm just playing. I feel like a superhero right now. I feel like I'm in control, even though I don't know what's happening. Like, I felt amazing, guys. I can't tell you what the light body is. I visually tell you what I'm seeing. We're made of light and all that, but it's like hard light. Like, you're physical, but not if you don't want to be. But you're physical and you're just fucking radiating with fucking ultimate power humbly. So then they go, okay, go back. You got to go back in your body now. So I go back in the body in the tank and I'm like, I could breathe, but I was just in the body. The body wasn't even moving. There was no heartbeat or nothing. As I laid there, I looked up, I see everybody at the tank. I see the guy next to me. I see his face. I see the guy, the Demon Slayer 5000 guy. They look like regular guys, black hair, kind of pushed forward to the side, very good looking. Everybody doesn't have a fucking mark on there. I was teasing everyone. I'm like, your skin, bro. I have scars all over my face from every kind of accident and fucking injury you could fucking imagine. I'm like, Jesus, you're so smooth. And do you guys put lotion on? Like, what do you? I don't know when the mic popped out. Okay, it's back in. All right. So as I'm looking up, it's transitioning now back to me just laying on the floor. And they were going, Osiris, 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 Osiris moment. It's your moment, Osiris. So I was like, well, obviously I'm not Osiris. And they're like, no, you keep thinking Osiris is a guy. This is not a guy. It's a moment. It's an experience of the archetype rising like the phoenix. So they go, rise, Demon Slayer. And I'm like, you guys are really weird with this Demon Slayer shit. So I sit up. This is where it gets fucking. Now, that was awesome. So there's my story. This is where it gets fucking great. I'm sitting in the room and they're like, we want you to sit up. And I'm like, who's talking to me? And they're like, sit up. So I just sit up and they're like, oh, not too fast. Now stand. Now I'm fully under. Like, I'm like, whoa, I can see the grid lines in the right in front of me that connect everything in the holographic matrix. The whole thing, I see it, but I'm in the room and I see the room perfectly clear. It's like overlaid with each other. And I'm like, okay, I can see all the outlines. I can see energy moving with. So this being that's talking to me just comes out of the fucking wall. His head comes out and he looks at me and starts talking to me. And Joe is on in front of the couch. He's on the couch looking at me. And then I hear Vincent in the other room say, who are you talking to? And I was talking to, I'm like, this fucking head pop. I must have been talking out loud. Like, yeah, man, it's good to see you too. And I said, they're so happy we're here. Everyone's so excited. And the being was like, dude, you guys are fucking doing it. You're not kind of doing it. You're like, wait for what you're about to do. And I'm like, what am I about to do? I'm like, this is crazy. They're like, you see what they're doing? I'm like, they're fucking magic right now. So I look into the far room. There were 2 bedrooms split. So my man Joe was just on the couch and he's really big. So I'm just looking at him on the couch. So the chair was like 5 feet back from the couch. So I sat in the chair and I looked at him. He looked at me. He went off into his world again. I see into the other room. All the lights are kind of out, but there's like a low light on, and I can see as if it's crystal fucking clear in the darkness. What you and I consider dark, pitch black, is not pitch black. It's not. You can see in it perfectly clear. So I was sitting in there and I seen into that, and I saw the back room by the shades, and it was pitch black. And then there's variance in there, and just by looking at it, it like blew it up into my vision, and I can see it like stretched apart, and I saw a being sitting in the crack. Like, it wasn't a crack, it was like an accordion, you pull it open, but it was the shades of the black, but they weren't dark to me. I could see that they were almost slightly white, even in the absence of 100% darkness. There was like an off color in there that I'm obviously like, it's just another shade of a color, but I can still see the whole thing. It's weird. So I pulled it. It pulled open. It was like a breath when and it would just open. So in the crack, I saw a being, and he looked at me, he had yellow eyes, and I was like, oh, you're getting it, right? And he just gone, disintegrated, gone, just sucked right out of the room. And I said, wow, how'd that happen? They were like, oh, you're getting good at this. So I'm like, wait a second. What do you mean? And they're like, you're the Demon Slayer 5000. You'll see. So I'm like, oh, wait a second. So you guys are going to send demons up in here? So I sat up in my chair and I said, let's do this. And they're like, nah, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And this fucking shadow form came in the room slowly, as if it was breathing into the room, getting bigger. And it just came in. It was fully etheric. It was almost like smoke, but not smoke. It was like shadow in 3D. I can't explain it better than that. So saying smoke, the way it moved, but it was contained within itself, so it could just morph out and get bigger, get smaller, and fill the room, and then go back to a point and look at you and change into shit. So I said, yeah, I see that. It's exactly this far away that all these things were just lighting up. And I just knew. So they were like, okay, gone. Boom. So I'm like, well, what's that about? Are you inserting this shit? Are you testing me live? They're like, keep your eyes open. I'm watching the fucking room change again. They're like, the walls aren't really there. I was asking them questions like, are you riding in electric circuits? Are you using electric circuits in the walls to pop yourself in from the other realm so I can visually see you for real? And they were like, yes, tell us what you see. So they had me for 45 minutes describing what I saw sitting in the room, which was crazy. So now I go through, I guess it was tests of visualization. So they wanted me to describe it. So it was just color changes and shades and different weird etherics, all etherics. Everything was etheric in the room with us, things that you don't see that are there. So then they're like, okay, now close your eyes. So I go, all right. They're like, don't peek. I'm like, I'm not peeking. So in my head, my third eye, I see a fucking lizard man, but it wasn't a reptilian. It was like a lizard man, very close to Enemy Mine with Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid, but the lips were completely different. It was like lizard face instead of like Louis Gossett Jr.'s lips in the movie. He had like the giant lips. Anyway, it was nothing like that. It was the way a lizard would have it. And then he was wearing the uniform, and he was he was like looking like this. So I was looking at his profile, but his eye was looking right at me, so he could see me from the side, but it like focused in on me. So he was like yellow. All right, he was a cool color, yellow-ish, green, lime-ish with yellow and green, but mostly lime-ish, not really brown. Hold on. I don't know what color that is. That's almost flesh tone, eggshell. And then it changes. So he has these things on his head, just like an iguana almost. All right. they're like, you ready? So I go, I'm being fully descriptive. They want me to describe. So I'm describing how his iris was opening and like it focused in on me. And I described that. And then the scales around his eyes, I could see the movement. It looked real. It looked like a real guy, but it didn't look scary. So then they were like, you ready? Open your eyes. I opened my eyes. He was standing there and I fucking flinched. I went, and then they were like, okay, he's not ready. And I went, wait, what the fuck just happened? And they were like, yo, we're testing to see what you could handle. Because the next thing that happens is you're going to shake his hand. We fucking showed you this a long time ago, and there's all different kinds of beings here. And you're from here. So this isn't like, and you're source. So, and you're the demon side. Like, this is a different thing. Like, you're different. But everyone's the same, but they're different. Everyone can do different things. So right now you're this guy and it's your turn to be this guy because this is what you are. And we're showing you that the next step is here with us. Physically in the room with you. Like, hi, how are you? I go, do you have to fucking teleport them in the room every time? You got to, you don't knock at a fucking door. You got to hear me go off, man. I fucking yell at people and I'll be like, let me tell you something. If I had your fucking job, I'd fucking fire you right now if I was your boss. You're fucking ridiculous. Teleporting a guy in front of me that's a fucking lizard when you obviously know they've eaten us over time. And blah, 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 blah. And they were like, relax. You only flinched a little bit. And I go, oh, that's because I was arguing that I wasn't scared. You just put a dude right in fucking front of me. I'm like helping the two guys in the room. And then you showed me that, and it happened so fast that I was confused. Like, he wasn't there and he was there, but I had my eyes closed. It's like peekaboo, 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 peekaboo. And I said this in the beginning first shows when I was on TFR. It's like a game of peekaboo. Look behind this mask. Look who it is. It's me. Oh, source, it's you. You mean it's you. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's you. New mask. Oh, look who it is. It's you. So who do you do that with? A fucking baby. Oh, look, it's not me. I'm gone. Ooh, I'm not there no more. Ooh, get my oh, here I am. That's what Source is doing with you, with all the different masks on the different beings. So they're teaching you to not have a fucking heart attack when this happens. I wasn't having a heart attack. I flinched. I straight flinched. I went, oh, and they're like, you can't do that. That guy's like a loving. I go, yeah, I'm not getting nothing bad off him. Where is he? They were like, yeah, he ain't coming back. Like next time. I'm like, what do you mean next time? All right. So they have their experiences. One day we'll talk about it. I'm not willing to talk about their experiences right now on the comeback show. I want them to develop it and then say, yo, man, I want to talk to you. And after they talk to me about their experiences again, and if they say I could talk about it, I'll discuss it fully. The integration on this has been fucking insane. So months of integration. Okay, so I go home, go to sleep. I tell Paula about everything. When I came home, I was like, bro, I got this big metal fucking spine thing in me and it's supposedly helping me. And my back's been killing me. And it was hurting me the other day pretty bad and everything. But this is what happened the next day. And it was a pretty simple thing. I woke up and was having a problem. I was having problems sleeping. So I was sleeping sporadically. And obviously after giant mushroom experiences and them having ayahuasca experiences and then doing crystal work and sound work, we were doing everything. So it's not just a bunch of guys in there eating and drinking. Like we're doing the whole gamut. We got the music going and we got the fucking chants and the mantras and the this and the that and Ganesha, Shiva, Kali, the whole fucking thing is there. So I'm open now. I'm like, this is great, but now I can't sleep. I can't rest. I feel like I've been in that mall that I've discussed multiple times, trying to figure things out. It's like almost like other people were thinking about me and then bringing me into their shit. And then I was, trapped and I can't breathe. And I don't know what the fuck this is. And I was having all these moments. The next morning when I got up, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to eat mushrooms that day. I didn't want to drink ayahuasca. I didn't want to be around anyone. And I'm on the job, homie. So I'm like, why am I feeling this way? So it was just a lot mentally. I really wanted to just openly discuss it and whatever. So I go into the shower, begrudgingly going, I smoke some weed. I was telling Paul about some shit. And then I just kind of like, all right, whatever. Let me go in the shower. Just like I'm doing right now. All right, whatever. I go in the shower. I'm like, greetings, water. And I see instantly around me as if the walls aren't there. And I'm like looking around and I see the wall, but I see through the wall. Now I'm in the shower naked. I'm like, oh, ooh, ooh, it was a little strong, I guess. Maybe I'm still there. Maybe that's why I'm bugging. I'm not fully back yet. I'm in a very busy area of the Bronx. So I see people just walking, and I just see the demons attached to them. I see who's got what and everything, and I'm going, well, that's fucking weird. I was like, fucking people that just come by my house on a fucking block and they bring a demon. I got so angry, and I jump out of my body, and it looks like if I was like on the chessboard, as if I would be the biggest character on the board to move. Like, I don't know what that would be, but it was big. And he came and he looked dark, like the hat with the hood, with the mask, with the robe, dark, waving his fucking hands and shit. Jumps right out of me. I see through his eyes while this just takes place, as if a wave was hitting, just pummeling these characters on the street, tearing the deep, just boom, boom, demon gone, gone. Like they were just exploding. And then I kept hearing, okay, source, open it up. And then like portals would open, sucking the whatever remains of these beings. As I smashed them, they were being pulled apart and sucked up to source. And I did this all the way mentally from my house here to where the Airbnb was, and then back around. So I was like, whoa, that was a crazy experience, right? A couple of little weird things happen. I tell Paula about it. I tell her I was been in this fucking mall again. I can't sleep again. I'm having all kinds of weird things happen. This is what happened last night again and again. We went over it. Okay, I got to go. I got to leave. And boom. So I go to the house, and there was like no resistance driving and going. It was the weirdest experience. I'm driving there. I just pulled the car out in a U-turn and drove right to the house. It's a mile and a half, maybe. No lights, no stoplights, no problem parking, no, like there was no resistance, zero. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is really weird for the Bronx. Like, usually everything's packed out and fucking nuts. I get there, I get inside, we all start talking. We're like, wow, bro, this is crazy. Boom, we get them under again. I fucking eat mushrooms. They're like, so, you had a busy day today. And I'm like, man, I didn't do nothing today. I fucking feel like a bum. Like, I really feel like a piece of shit. And they're like, oh, don't call yourself that. They're like, you're the Demon Slayer 5000. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So they go, yeah, man, you fucking cleared a path on the way here. You saw that, right? And I go, wait, what? And they're like, well, you came out of your body before, and you literally took every demonic entity out of the neighborhood that was in that path. They're all gone. There's nothing there. And I was like, well, I just drove over here. There was nothing there. They're like, because you cleared the path before, earlier. That really happened. And I'm like, wait a second. And they're like, that really happened. That's the ability now. You stepped up, you know. So I'm like, no fucking way. And they're like, way. Check it out. They just showed it to me as if it was on playback. And I was able to sit there and then realize what was happening, how I was able to do it, why I'm now able to do it, how I could comprehend that this is even happening, was the fact that I was unlocking everything in my suit. Like I gave myself to this process, guys and girls. I gave myself to it. I said, you have me 100%. However, I'm going to use discernment through the whole thing, and I'm going to call it out. They were like, good. That's why when I go under a psychedelic experience, I'll go, it's great when I jump out of my body and all that cool shit. That's awesome. But I need to be in my body to see what the fuck is going on, because if the upgrades occur in your body, right, I have to go back and activate it in my body, then I understand this is all going on spiritually, but I need to be in my body to be aware of it, so I can be wide awake in it and understand what you're saying. To deliver these concepts back to another human being is ridiculous. I was like, so I have to know how to do it in the human suit, not just see it here. Like, let me see it here while in the flesh suit. And they're like, oh, gangster. I'm like, yeah, gangster, motherfucker. Let's do this. Because I got to the point where the superpowers weren't coming back. And then all of a sudden I'm in hibernation mode and they just activate and turn on without me being fucking aware of them turning on and activating. I'm just deciding, okay, because I fucked up. I didn't drink ayahuasca before my clients came and I was supposed to clear the path. So they were like, we don't want you to drink Aya this week. Don't drink ayahuasca with anyone, but you could eat mushrooms. Then I was told all these crazy things about hey, cut it out. No fighting. Man, these cats just, you would think by now they'd get along. Hey, Reggie, give me a water squirt. Hold on. Easy. Come over here. I feel bad. One cat whacks the other one, and you go to try to help the situation, and one's scared, then the other's scared, and you make any movement, and everyone's scared. That's us with what ayahuasca and mushrooms are trying to break us through to make us understand. Okay, so now we get the basic idea, because I kind of been 3 hours already. I want to get into just one or two more things. All this is going on, and they're talking about shooting down balloons that are UFOs and all kinds of crazy shit during full moons and new moons and cycles that are created that are just absolutely insane. So that I'm like down with a sickness, and then you're not just sick, you're being compounded and compiled upon with the new energies and frequencies, thus making you feel worse and sick, thus making your allergies go more allergies. Then it's 73 outside. Then now today it's 29. It's like, yo, what's going on here? So it comes out sometimes as a sickness, right? And then we have to like rise above. So I went and I rose above. I went and I got ivermectin. So we're 3 hours into this. I went and I got ivermectin from India. Right. Mike Jaco talks a lot about his, he's a guy that does the same thing I do. He talks about health and wellness stuff. And he had a site on his thing that he connected to. And he's like, you just hit them up and this is the process. You do it. And I literally just went on their website. It was the easiest thing. I ordered it. It was fucking cheap as fuck. I ordered antibiotics. I says, let me get all this stuff. It was like $75 for like, I mean, honestly, if I use that much penicillin over the rest of my life shared with Paula, that would be, you'd still have leftover. That's how much I got. And then enough ivermectin for 50 people staying on it like 5 days. It was so cheap. And I went and I fucking ate it. And then the mushrooms were telling me, okay, now here's the thing. This is how they showed it to me. They says, you killed everything in you. So the parasites, the this, to that, all the things you couldn't get to, and you know, you build up. They're like, you stayed on it for 20 days. So they're like, you know, people that want to kill cancer do like 30, 35 days at a clip. So I'm like, well, did it harm me? And they're like, no. But here's what happens. You get buildup. So you're not releasing it out of your body fast enough. You're killing it faster than you could release it. So you didn't drink the ayahuasca, but you're also working with these people. So we're going to kind of show you what we're doing. It looked like a cleanup crew was dumping into the side of a road alongside a highway, like a ditch that went on for mad long. They were like scooping dead parasitic shit that was in my body that died into this canal thing that just ran the whole length of this highway of a new neural pathway. And then the highway was suddenly clear as it can be. I was like, yo, that feels great. And then they're like, okay, we got to help get rid of this right now. So then these trucks were scooping up that portion of the canal, and it was taking time. It took a lot of time. I watched this whole process go out, and they're like, you went and killed it faster than your body's releasing it. So now I went to the bathroom like I didn't have a problem. It was like going regular, but more. And then before you had to go, felt like you were getting poisoned. So you'd be like, oh, what's wrong with my stomach, man? Oh, what did I eat? Something? You're like, dude, I've been drinking water. I'm fine. What's going on? And then you're, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. The minute it comes out, you feel like $1 million fucking dollars. You're like, bro, was I poisoned? So it's weird. It's fucking weird. But it works. So one of the things is you have to save yourself. So what distance would you go? See, I can't help my mother with certain things and then like buy her and then take it and it'll help. And she'd never do that. But she trusts the medical system, which is killing. But not for me. Most of the time, which is a lot, I know what's good for me and what's best for my body. I know if my arm's broken, obviously I need a doctor. Can you repair this? Yes, sir. Obviously, cancers and certain things, yes, obviously you're going to need a doctor right now, right? And there's other stuff. It's like, yo, I don't want to be part of the system anymore. Like, just like jury duty. I don't want to be part of the system anymore. I just like other things. I don't want to be part of this anymore. How do I release myself from it? And it's like, well, you got to go do the things necessary to take care of business. Are you willing to take the next step? Are you willing to contact someone that has a reputable thing that seems to be working right now to get the stuff that you would need, which the doctors will never provide, but you obviously know the ones that are trying to provide it are all getting in trouble. They're literally saying, no, the stuff works great. And then all the villains are like, horse dewormer. And then I take it and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. Not good, not great, amazing. Okay, so there's that kind of stuff. What are you willing to do to for you to make it better without relying on everyone else? Will you make the phone call? Will you order it? Will you not feel bad about it? Will you just give up, resign the fact that, you know, X, Y, and Z and go for it yourself? You know, train yourself to not be in fear, to just do it. So you don't rely on Frank to make the phone call for you. Just in case I can't, you can. What's the big deal? Just pick up the phone and fucking do it. They use FaceTime. You don't even they don't do the video though. They'll just type to you in the FaceTime chat. If you have a Mac or an iPhone. So as soon as the order came through, the guy hit me up. He's like, listen, if there's anything you need, you let me know. I go, just get this shit to me fast. Because it was on like the second week. I felt like I was fucking dying. I was dying. I was like, yo, I'm going to die. This is not a way for me to go. I couldn't breathe. I was dying. It was bad. I had no energy. I couldn't move. I was zapped 1,000,000%. It was just sucked. That first day I put one of those fucking ivermectin in me, I started feeling immediately better. And by day 3, I was ready to fucking run and jump. It's just unfortunately like a week in between getting my teeth fixed and everything, I fucking got sick again. And this time it was like regular sick, what we would consider like, I got the flu for a couple of days. And it took like 6-7 days to knock that out. Mama, let me open the door for you. Come on. Oh my goodness, these cats. Oh, sorry. So, put a name in chat. I'm bringing it up. Hold on. Pharmacy on air. I can't drop that in my chat. I'm trying to look for it. You know what? Let me do it afterwards. You can go type in Mike Jaco, right? Pharmacy on air. And any one of his videos should have this in the underbelly. Shit, I should start putting it in there as well. Because they're reputable enough. It came through. They have a ton of shit there too that people might need. All kinds of anti-parasitics, antivirals, Shit, you be going to your doctor, it costs you fucking $300. You get on a fucking website, enough for 20 visits for like $50. Yeah, so in his description on his videos, especially on the health and wellness ones, is it's pharmacy on air, but it's like pharmacy dash on dash air something. I can't put that in here. They won't let me. And then you just sign in your information. They want PayPal. So I had to re-sign up to PayPal under a different email, but I just used my credit card, just the way I would use it. And they said, okay, no, that's fine. We're just going to charge it after we send whatever. And then they hit me up on here to check on me. They're like, if there's anything you need, is anything. I said, I wrote back to them recently. You guys saved my life. Like, and they were like, whatever. Like, this is what we do. Because they're in it for the buck, but they don't realize they're working for the light. They're pumping out a product that people want, so they're jumping on it. They're like, we'll just make the ivermectin right here and we'll put it in pills. How much can you have in each one? 500? And they just pile it in there. You're getting the exact same thing. Do I have one over here? No. All right. Next time I'll show them. I'll have it all ready so you guys could just see what it fucking looks like. It's a little white pill. Fucking drink with a glass of water. Just like with the MMS, people were like, what is the MMS? Master Mineral Solution. But on a big level, it's what they put to chlorinate and clean the water. But you put the two chemicals together, up to 3 drops to 5 drops in a little thing of water, and you mix it. It smells chlorinated. You're like, oh shit, I can't drink that. And then they're like, if it's hurting you while you're breathing in that smell, you have parasites all inside your head. The only time you get that wax smell is if it's killing things immediately. The smell starts killing the stuff that you have. And I'm like, what? Drank that shit. There's no fucking taste. Well, the only way I'm going to science it is to science it myself. Master Mineral Solution. This guy has a book, but he's a Scientologist. But the book is like 30 pages or 60 pages. It's free. It just describes how to do this and what the product is. You're not buying the product from them. This guy has no affiliation to the product. He's like, this is just something we know through science. So if you do this correctly, it will kill the parasites in your body. Well, I can't afford, with 12 cats, maybe 15 to 20, depending on the season, with cats running around outside. I can't afford to give them all medication and take them to the vet. So now all of a sudden I have ivermectin and amoxicillin and MMS, which I could just squirt into the dish of food, and they're all of a sudden they're pooping out parasites out in the yard. Right? Like we gave Little Bear some, and he shit out worms nonstop for like 2 days straight. He was loaded. Right? He started acting like a different fucking cat. He wasn't so like weird. He was getting weird for a while. And then his eye was dripping a lot. And we know the eye has got something to do with parasites and shit. If you look into it, you're like, okay. So they got something wrong, viral. It fucking kills it. Just crushes it. No more. Bink. And you're like, whoa, that's fucking intense. But are you willing to take that ride? Are you willing to do it? Yeah, I left PayPal. I can't. I had to have that stuff though. So you get to the point where you're like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go back on PayPal, but I'm going to die in my house because because of my laurels. I'm going to use my enemy to get my enemy's potion of good because they're holding all of it away, like back from us. And then I'll just get that and then not use it. Gives a fuck. I don't even care. The whole system needs to go. It needs to collapse in on itself. And we need to observe it. Right? So here's a few new reminders, things. Bitcoin's still good. I suggest Bitcoin. I, in the past, did not support XRP. Which is Ripple. I don't, however, now not support it after what I've seen. So you want to do a judo flip on the boss. They're trying to implement a system. And there's going to be a system implemented, which is the future everything. Man, they do not want me to tell you this. Whoa. Get out. So the XRP would be like the enemy system, that ledger. However, having the enemy's money on your ledger, wow, my eyes got all fucking, it's like someone just punched me in the fucking face. Yeah, they didn't want me saying this. The ledger, the XRP, even though it's centralized, so it's not decentralized like Bitcoin is, it's still at such a cheap value that if it went up to like $100 a coin from like 30 cents, if you were like in need of anything that you could actually put some stuff into, like if you had like a 1% to 5% allocation in different things, and you had like, let's say 1,000 XRP, if they went to $100, you'd be fucking doing pretty good just with the XRP. What you can do is, I don't know how the future is going to hold this, but like, let's say crypto flips at some point within the next year or two, and that starts making its move to that, you use that as your de facto money, not your Bitcoin. So, you throw in, a couple $100 this way, and then futuristically speaking, you have, $100,000 in XRP. I did that with like Cardano. I'm in New York, so I can't stake coins, but I have ways of doing it, but I can only seem to do it with Cardano through my Exodus wallet using my what the fuck do they call this thing? My Express VPN. So I changed my location to anywhere but New York, and I'm allowed to stake my coin in the wallet. So I'm getting 4%, and I have like, a couple thousand of those coin in there because it was like at 6 cents and I threw down with it. So now I've been getting 4% over the last 5 years with this shit. 4 years. So it's a couple of hundred coin in the right direction that can send things off that will allow you to like buy a car, buy a house, like unrestricted, and pay a tax. Like, so if you bought a car and you're just like, fuck it, I'm buying a car, I'm cashing out, buying a car, you cash out, you probably have enough to pay your taxes and to do that and not get in trouble. And then you just keep it moving while you safeguard your Bitcoin. So it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and then like lower ledger XRP would just be like, to me, it's like having the enemy's money. It's like having cash, which is our money, but it's not really worth, because they're trying to digitally track and trace and do certain things. The XRP is going to be that system. But if you get in the system now, you're not being tracked yet. Nothing's being done. You're just sitting there. When it activates, it's going to be well over $100 because they have to make it trillions of dollars. Right. So it's going to have value of the trillions, thus raising that price from like 36 cents to a minimum of $100. So if you just hold on to like, if you had $50 when it was at 6 cents, and you threw it at it, you could have thousands in the future. Well, now it's at 30 something cents. Right. They had tested the waters with this. They went to court, but they're winning the court case. Of course, they're winning the court case. So you can double down and not just bet on, oh, Bitcoin's so expensive. Yo, it's like 0.0019 of a Bitcoin will make you a future millionaire. So get to fucking popping, bro. I've been talking about this since it's $800 and it's went up to 60 something. You could have cashed out and went back down. People fucking try to murder me. They were like, oh, you're the worst, man. I said, we went to 60 something. They're like, yeah, what did you do? Did you cash out? I'm like, no, I held on. I bought in at 1,200 is when I actually pressed the button. And I spent over 7 years, like a little over 12 grand in terms, but that's my whole future. I have nothing in my future. So I had gotten a check, and then I took that check and like made thirds, and then just took a piece and put it towards it over the course of this whole term. That's how you grow your money. I'm not rich. I don't know anyone rich. Like, I got to just learn how to grow. My mother taught me make thirds. You get 100, split it into 3. Savings, cash in your pocket, and shit on the side just for food and everything else. And she's like, when you keep doing that, as you divide out and move out, you notice you'll be saving a ton. You'll have a bunch of money that you won't spend, but it'll be in your pocket that you'll slide over to those other things. And I was like, oh shit, look at that. She goes, well, yeah, expenses sucks, but that's one of them because they go up and down. But then also savings. It doesn't matter. You live humble for a little bit. And I fucking did that my whole life. And now I could sit around like a child with action figures, even though I live in a fucking 1-bedroom apartment. Can't wait to get a house, but I got Cyclops. But he makes me happy. So I'm fucking happy. I write dope music when I'm surrounded by things I love. My cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 right here. 6. There's like 3 in the bedroom. Surrounded, protected, loved. Doesn't matter what I'm in. I don't need a mansion. I need everybody to fucking jump up and be like, yeah, we could do this. All right. Let's see. What else did I want to hit on? Yeah. So the website's changing. So basically what I'm doing is growing in front of everyone, and I'm going to try to live the example. I don't have all the answers, but I do see stuff, and I just report on it as it pertains to my life. So yeah, all right. So the last thing, so I saw a Wendigo for the first time, a whole group of them during the ayahuasca sessions. One night I was asking for protection because I wasn't sleeping, and I didn't know what a Wendigo was. In the comic books, they're these giant white beast characters that eat flesh, and then if they, like a werewolf, attack you and scratch you and you get it passes to you, and then you like run around just like this big thing, and it's called a Wendigo. So that's all you can say is Wendigo. It's like Wendigo, monster. So I'm in the house laying down, and I'm laying next to Paula, and I see what I thought was a bullheaded men come in the room in robes. And I said, oh shit, bullheaded men. It's got to be Moloch, right? And then they looked over, and I go, man, you ain't no bull. You look like a fucking reindeer. They look really cool. This being looked really cool. There's a couple of them. White robe. It was like its arms and fingers looked like wood, like tree wood, but not like they were alive, but it was tree woodish. I guess if that was like a tree elemental of some kind, but a full reindeer head, big body, white robe, hooves. The fingers looked like magic wands. So picture like a big finger and then it doing like a walk through the room, and I had asked for protection, and I said, oh my goodness, everything feels so good. Can I have some of that protection? They go, wait, that's what we're here. So he fucking touches above me, and it turns into like a little egg of golden energy that was like honeycombed. So it was like see-through. You can see I was in there. And then I go, oh, I'm fully protected. This is amazing. What the fuck is going on? Like, I completely snapped out of it. I just like looked up like, oh shit, there's a fucking reindeer, 2 guys. I didn't know they were Wendigo. I didn't know what to call them. So reindeer head guys. So I was like, you guys are cool. Thanks for that. Don't forget Paula. And they were like, oh, she's already done. So I turn over. She was in bed, fully protected. And then I said, oh, my cats. Don't forget my cats. So the one that wasn't talking just turns around and starts doing this fucking dance. And I'm like, yo, that's really weird. And then at the end of each finger thrust, he had touched a cat, and they were fully protected. And I said, what's going on? And they said, well, on the chessboard, on the grand chessboard, the dark gets to make moves during certain scenarios, right? It's like your turn. I'm like, yeah. So it was a sequence of events, and it's your events, and they're set up by that moves you make on the board of life and so on. But it's literally a chess game at one point. It's 100% chess. So they're like, okay, well, it's the lights move. So we're coming through just like that. So that they were acting really cool, man. Their attitude was like, you know how the dark makes their move? Yeah, it's our turn. And they were just like, bro, and they were coming through the house like a chain of like light being body characters, but everything they touched grew. Like things were growing around them and moving, and they were protecting everyone they could. It was like the light side came in, and so the few nights before were very difficult. So it was obviously dark moves where you don't know if it's you. What am I doing wrong? I hate myself. Bad, filthy thoughts. Fuck all these people. I hope the whole world ends. Like just weird shit. Like almost like you're being attacked. Almost like no matter if you take a shower, you can't scrub off the fucking dark thought, right? It's just sticking to you and shit. And then all of a sudden now it's perfect. Everything's fine. And you're like, wait a second, what? So they're like, yeah, you still live on the board. So in Clash of the Titans, they just move the characters, right? So the guys playing, like Zeus is like, I'll just move the character around, but they couldn't touch Perseus because Perseus isn't real. This is why I don't like I love these guys, like everyone, but Ishmael Perez goes, oh, Perseus is real. Perseus is not real. I disagree 100%. You know how I disagree? I asked 100 fucking times because I've watched the movie and I love the character. I said, they asked me, who do you want to meet? I want to meet Perseus. They're like, Perseus doesn't exist. He's the only not real one. So I go, why not? Why does he not exist? He's like, because you're Perseus. I go, what? He goes, he's the guy breaking through. He's the Horus. And I'm like, what? The activated gene activates again. The God gene activates in him. He's one of them, but he's coming around to it. So that's you. I go, literally me? So I'm Perseus? They're like, no, you're all Perseus. How do you say that in plural? You're all Perseus. Just like you're all Spartacus, right? So I was like, oh, they're archetypes. Okay. So you got guys that are like, no, he's real. He's going around. He's got a whole story for him. You ask him, he's got a whole fucking story that doesn't exist. It's not real. And I'm like, oh, God damn, the things I know compared to others. You know, Joe, it was weird. Vince said something to me when he was under. The reason why they don't want you there is because it's you. Guy was under ayahuasca looking at me, staring at me, going, the reason why you're not on like Gaia TV and all this other stuff is because they don't want you there because you're real. You're the real guy. It's literally you. Like, and you're the example. You're primed at the pump, ready to show and tell and discuss it fully without making up a storyline. Like you asked me about Anki and Enlil and all that. It's a title. I don't know. All I know is I had to speak on behalf of the human race multiple times because I'm connected to all these motherfuckers. So they hate me. Every time I show up, they're like, oh, you imagine that's the expression every time you show up. It's you. Like, what the fuck? Hey, listen, what are you doing? They're like, why are you here? I'm like, it's my DNA. Why wouldn't I be here? I have more right to speak than everyone in this room. I'm directly connected to the Anki. It's like literally supposed to be my title along with others, but they're like the good guys and you're like bad guys with the title. Like you're faking it again with the fake. You know, you go in and say your piece. Well, I know you're fake. I know you're full of shit. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us, the people, not to these fucking pieces of shit. And that's all I got to say about that. And then I just walked out and they're like, well, harumph. Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for domination and control and all that. The minute I hear that, you got a rebel that's ready to fight you right in the room. Heisting, ready, 100%. Like, nope, that's not going to happen today. No. I'm not even going to conflict with you. I'm going to go to war with you spiritually and take you over and send you back 1,000 years to be like, until you're done dominating, fuck off. It's the difference between Source and Zeus. Right? Zeus and all those gods go to war. Right? You know, Source doesn't have enemies. Gods do. Keep that in mind. Whenever you're like, war, we'll just go war. Yeah, that's the war of the gods. Lowercase g's everywhere. But they hate you and want to eat you too. Yeah, whatever. That's because I'm having the human experience. The minute I unzip my body and stand in front of them, watch everyone shit their pants. But we're not here for that. See, that's the humbleness. And we're not here for that part. But if you make me do it, I'll fucking do it. I'll pull the pin. It's not a big deal to me. It doesn't injure me. It doesn't injure any of the other light beings. However, spiritually, it injures everything else. So you better have your shit straight. Because the rest of you is going bye-bye. That's how this is going to work in the long run. As you activate your super abilities, which are this is ayahuasca always says to me, they're not superpowers. You don't get superpowers. You're not superheroes. And I go, okay. So then what happens? And she goes, well, you get telekinesis, telepathy. You get to, weather manipulation, all forms of like mineral and all the way through atomic and all kinds of weird shit. Manipulation, reality manipulation, and warping at a high level. Like, in other words, like whatever you think becomes real. So I'm like, manifestation, yeah, all that. So I go, yeah, those are superpowers. Did nobody have read a fucking comic book? I healed myself. Well, it must be Wolverine. Right? He's sticking to a wall. It's fucking Spider-Man. You get it? And they're like, you're thinking lower thoughts, whatever. But that's the truth. It is superpowers. She's like, but you're born. Like, they're not superpowers if they're innately built into you the way we see it. It's just you being you. And I go, well, you're obviously seeing it wrong. Ask anyone here. Ask anyone. What's up with your powers? The minute they kick on, the whole fucking situation changes. In a good way. It might be scary at first, just like everything when it activates. Am I going crazy? Am I alone in the world? Blah, blah, blah. Depression, breaking through, flexing on yourself, trauma, reptilians everywhere. We get it. It's happening. Spiders, I'm afraid of everything. They eat us. They fuck us. They fucking put us down. They put us out. They're all trying to get us. Yeah, but you're fucking Source. So do something about it. What do? Well, you got to meditate. First thing, this is what I agree with Ishmael Perez. He's like, you got to meditate. He's right. 100% right. Got to meditate. You got to seal yourself off with white light from the rest. I'm fully protected. So it takes a long time to build that. I got to get my chakras spinning properly and cleaned out. It's another set of the process. While all that physical shit's taking place, you then start to develop spiritually this other thing. And it just happens. It's innately built in. You're built to do this. Fully functional. 100%. All right. With that knowledge now, go forward and don't let it depress you. If the world collapses in on itself, humbly be like, there's nothing I could do about it. If there's nothing you could do about it, send love at it and be like, fuck off with me. Like, don't bring it to me. I'm not here for that. I'm here to observe. So from an observation deck, if you're inside of the situation, that's a whole nother thing. You're contracted to do that, by the way. These are hard truths. So you don't want any of this to happen to anyone. But if you're there, it's because you were meant to be there, unless you were being told to move and you didn't move. Then we got fucking parables for days about people like you, about how you begged God to save you. And he sent people, sent all kinds of things, and you refused because you were waiting for God. But God, it was you. And he's like, just get the fuck up and go. I sent you boats and helicopters and rafts and people to help, and you wouldn't go until I showed up. But you're dead now, and now you're with me, because that's not how you play the game. It's not how it's done. Right? So I don't know, man. I don't know how to say this. I'm just being compassionate across the board, and then loving, and then trying to be understanding. I'm seeing it from a different level, so it's hard for me. I want to criticize, and then I don't want to criticize. I go, it's not worth it. I was sitting with my man Josh. Shout outs to Josh, by the way. Chilton, so Josh, you the magician, has a band called Chilton. And for those music lovers, the guys from the Descendants, yes, you heard that correctly, the Descendants, who are also guys from Black Flag, are in this band, Chilton, the Descendants. And they're all friends and jamming. So you should check them out. They're fucking awesome. Punk rock awesomeness. I was telling them last night, man, like, I got to go live again and everything. And I haven't done this. Whatever. And he's like, who gives a shit? Like you tell. And then they look at you like, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have it in me no more like that. It's got to come out the way it's got to come out this way. It can't come out the old way, the way it used to, even though it's just a hyperized, more aware version of what it was. But I can't beat the drum no more. Now I got to just do the thing. So if you don't want to be involved, don't be involved. If you don't give a shit, don't give a shit. I'm not going to fight you in the pit. There's no pit fighting with me no more. I don't really care. They could all, whatever. Everyone could go jump in a lake or not. We could all be friends or we could not be friends. It's okay. I get it. We're all different. I'm not here to criticize and judge, although I'm a human and have my judgments and criticisms. I'm also in duality fucking playland, so I can do that. But I'm not going to project it onto others and be crazy. I'm just going to tell you, watch out with the music, satanic Grammys and this and that. If you people still sweating Biden and the Grammys and this character and that character, you obviously know what they're doing, what they're involved with, and what that has to do with everything. And yes, it's everything and it's in everything. So if somebody's like, well, every time I say something, it's that. Yes, because we're surrounded by it. This is why I don't say it anymore. So thus, if you want to participate in the ritual, have a fucking ball. But the ritual's afraid of me, so you're not going to want me there unless you're ready to fucking work. My work is different than your work. Trust me. When you guys can't, that's when I get involved. 100%. Like, you want warrior shit, then warriors show up and do warrior shit. And then you're like, oh, you shouldn't do that. And it's like, who takes the head off the snake when the snake's about to eat your fucking loved one? Any crazed mother knows if she sees her kid get hurt or an animal tries to do anything to her child, you'll see it. Like, we're grown like that now. We have to just stand strong. That's what we have to do. We have to level up, love, enjoy. They want us laughing all the time, right? Laughing, joy, hope, faith. You have to have faith, patience. Don't be so quick to follow leaders, but become a leader yourself, within yourself. Right? Check me on everything I say. However you do. Agree or disagree. It's cool. I could still be cool with you. Just like I disagree with Ishmael, but also he's trying to sell everything. Look at me. Good looking, perfect. Speak perfect. Every key fucking word and phrase. Buy my books. I'm a millionaire. Come see me. Make sure. Ooh. I wrote to one of the fucking ladies interview him. I said, tell me you're thirsty without saying that you're fucking thirsty. Jesus Christ. These girls look like they're ready to run new age style right into the pants of this guy. Like nothing matters but that. It's like, and then on the other washboard, you're watching Andrew Tate sitting with all these hot chicks that are all disgusting. And they're all saying that he's misogynistic. And I'm going, you got both categories, right? Me. You're judging the fuck out of one and you're sucking the dick out of the other one. So you make up your fucking mind which one's right. Right? It's only good if it comes from this guy. Oh, well, he said the same thing. No, he didn't. No, you see his face? See what he said? No, I see talking points that you're following from the AI. That's what I fucking see. But I can't sit there and say that with you. So I'm going to not say nothing and not engage in the conversation while I live my life to the fullest. I'm going to be on the precipice of the new technologies that come out. Not inserting technology into my body, thus creating some kind of weird beast system, but the advanced fucking 5D type shit We're going to bring and raise our music up to the next level. My voice, my people, my friends, my family, the ones that come, that want to be part of, we all ride together. We will ride into this together. Those that don't want to, we love you. We love you so much. We'll be back for you. It's just an energetic thing. We're all here together. Even if I raise my frequency to 100%, I'm still standing right next to you. I'm not going anywhere. Don't be so quick to follow some stupid shit. Stay aware. Be aware. Question everything. Have the conversations with the deities. Have them with inside yourself. If it comes to you externally before it comes to you internally, there's a problem. I'm going to let you know right now. Especially if nothing's reading on the inside while something's happening on the outside. We are not show ponies. This is why I don't fucking do readings. My aunt, I don't want to say nothing more than that, heard about me and was like, yo, you need to talk to your uncle who's passed, who's dead, is her brother, and find out where the gold thing was that was in the drawer. And I was doing coke that night, and then I fucking think I lost it. I don't know if someone stole it, if it, and I just looked at her like, nope. She's like, why not? I go, I'm not a clown, homie. This isn't a magic show. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, I said, that's the first thing. Your dead brother comes to me and basically fucking Uncle Eddie's with me all the time. And that's the one you got. That's the hill you're going to die on and start and finish on. That's interesting. That's the last thing that's on my mind when I see him is shit like that. So I didn't even know him like you knew him. I was little, but I knew him. Crazy, right? I'm not here for your amusement, even as a fucking rapper and an MC. I was in places where they're like, oh, you're a rapper? Go ahead, rap for me. No, I'm not a fucking clown. Like, yo, don't get it mixed up in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to get famous. I'm infamous, son. It's something completely different. And if you can't see that, you're not ready. And it's okay. But now I know how to deal with you. So take all that with you, all this knowledge and this information as being brought right out and slapped on the table. Take it apart, dissect it, understand it. Go into your areas and rise. Remove anything you don't need. Especially if I said it. Obviously wrong. Throw it out. But whatever's right, take and use. And report back. That's really what we're all doing. We all have a puzzle piece. So it's like there's no real leader here, but we're all leading the way. We just have groups and cliques and environments that we can work in to allow, like the Fearless Family Group, is to allow you to rise. Nobody's taking up reins and rising and doing, like, everyone's waiting for Frank to come back on Frank or Mike Jaco or this one, Allison Coe and Ishmael Perez. Woohoo! Like everyone's waiting, like you're listening to Guns N' Roses or Metallica. When I'm here telling you, you can just do it. You are the superstar. But even if you're in like, I live in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing going on, there's a reason why you're there. You have to dig in and figure it out. And it'll click on and work. Don't say, like, show me the magic or I'm not going to do nothing. It's obviously not real. You got to be like, yo, I'm ready for it. Show it to me. I'm ready. I want to do this. I'm prepared to see the magic now. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source, for allowing me the opportunity to be here. These are like key words to mean. You have to mean it. You have to mean it in your heart. So it's not just words. And you follow the directive and it lets you in and up. In and up.
You all superheroes, every single one of you. Yes, even you in the back. You there with the weird hairdo. Love it. Superhero. And the one with the no hair, specifically love that one a lot. We know each other. All right, it's your turn. It's your turn. Go out there and do it. I guess if the book helps you, if the different books help you, even though there's infamous bullshit, discern it, read through it, understand it, and then throw out what you don't need. Keep all the good stuff and move on, because there's truth and fiction in everything. All right. Life is imitating art now, and art is imitating life. Things are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You got to find your perfect balance. All right. That being said, Kevin and I, KG, Prime creator with the Source Prime, Frankie Fearless, we're going to be starting our own little thing we're going to be doing called Gnosis Overdoses, right? And they're going to be little bits of us discussing everything, from mostly about our music and the integration with it. I'm hoping that a bunch of you join us when we pull it out in the next couple of days. We're also releasing the actual music video for Never Touching Down that we filmed, which is pretty cool. And we're really happy about that and excited. So that's something else to look forward to. If you're into that, you can join us with the music, and, you know, music makes this world go round. And I'm sure we got something in there for everyone. I'm so excited. Some of our newer stuff that I'm the only one that didn't finish his parts. Sorry, everyone. I'm literally holding up a whole bunch of shit. This is my first time on a mic. Obviously, I'm losing my voice already. Right. But I got to record verses and beast up. So there's going to be a lot of changes going on and a lot of really cool things coming up. I'm very excited to be part of these projects. And I'm super thankful. I'm super thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here, being in this now moment with me, with us, being part of this life. It's important that you're here. You're here because it needed you here. The whole thing needed you. And that's why it's so hard. It's the advanced class. You had to do everything to even get here. And now we're here. You can do it. You are it. You are all. You are source. Go out and create, envision it. Imagination is key. It's the fuel. It's the tackling fuel. You need it. It's real. There's a place where that's happening. And then decollapsing and restructuring as you change and move fluidly, right? Coming and going and weaving in and out, breathing in and out, creating what you want to manifest. Well, go manifest, go be awesome, right? We got so much more to bring forth. I'm going to save some of this stuff, though, for the sons. The Gnosis Overdoses stuff is Mahovis. I still got to eat dinner and call Kevin. So I love each and every one of you. Remember to come through with the force of source, and that the universe it rewards the bravery. Thank you for being here with me. Like, subscribe, share, check out the website. It's not going to be much longer the way it is, and it will never be again. It will be fully changed. And I think on the 3rd of March, at 3 in the afternoon, I'm going to try to hold. So it'll be like 3, 3, 3, 3. Try to hold a meditation. I'm not going to try. I'm going to hold a meditation. I almost got etherically slapped right there. And we're going to reinsert our power back into the program, and we're going to reprogram it from the ground up. Love you guys so much. See you next time. And just be kind. We're all going through shit. It's really hard, right? Have fun. Live, laugh, love. Don't be a fucking Karen. Peace.